All right, hey, welcome. Good afternoon. Sorry about the delay there. 10 minutes. Wow. I probably should have hit start streaming like 5 minutes later, but I was setting up windows and organizing bets in the chat and stuff. So today, I was reminded I actually have access to the channel point prediction thing. So we're gonna scared the shit out of me. Sorry. Remind me today we're gonna do a channel point prediction at some point as to whether or not like the code compiles or a test passes. I think that'll be pretty funny. So. Yeah, let me, yeah, let's see here. So I followed my checklist. Oh, I forgot to do Spotify. Should get some music going. Hey, there we go. Stupid multi-monitor, man. Always shows up wherever the hell you want. Let's see here. That'll work. So you've got a budget. Good. Budgeting is good. Budgeting is life. Welcome to my cult. I am a certified card carrying member of the cult of you need a budget. It's great. Also, this Chemex is gonna hit real hard because I've had like 2 sips and I'm already like good to go. So I got a pretty big mug today. It's gonna be a good time. So where we got to yesterday is we essentially got this working, but we were waiting on a couple of changes to land upstream in the Go project, and we actually did that. So overnight, Tobias took a look at this and we merged this. So now people other than me can actually build this code, which is good. Octal, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Do I have my alerts on? Yeah, I should. Okay, I guess I just didn't see that one on the stream. Yeah, so this is merged now, so we have all those new constants for the attributes and everything that we need. So we can actually use this from the upstream code. It will build for people other than me, which is great. So we are continuing this project, and I actually opened a draft pull request. So if anybody's just curious about what we did yesterday on stream, I did also post the video. We did a YouTube video. I do most of my streams end up on YouTube as well. So I shared this earlier today, and we made some pretty good progress, I think. I think probably the major deficiencies are I don't think it compiles anything other than Linux, which is something I do want to fix. Yeah, we still got to figure out the link info by index by name thing. I think we're gonna end up doing that request struct I was talking about yesterday. We'll get to that, but I think I want to implement at least one more call first to see if the convention is going to be the same. Like if every call accepts either an interface name or an interface index or possibly both, then I think the struct will probably be fine. But I want to see how much that convention proliferates before I commit to it. Although that being said, I'm not going to tag 1.0 of this anytime soon. Frankly, I don't really care if I break your code. So, hey, ADCTL, welcome. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Yeah, so the thing is that like you should be using Go modules and stuff, but until I tag a 1.0, which I am pretty hesitant to do for everything except like my netlink stuff, you can deal with some breakage, right? It'll be fine. It'll be easy breakage if anything, you know. Oh, Lord Chemex, praise. What do we got? Uh-oh. Yeah, we're gonna have a gambling ring running in the stream here. Who's got the most channel points right now? I don't know. I think probably like Dominic or Jordan or somebody might have like 5 or 10,000, but we're gonna shuffle some channel points around today for sure with the gambling, which would be pretty funny. Lord Mocha Pot for me today. I have never had a Mocha Pot. I don't think that sounds pretty good. You've got 6.1. Nice. Okay, that could be pretty good. So you can double up maybe. The problem is though is that like if we do something like will this code compile, like I bet almost everybody's gonna bet no, and then the one person who bets yes is gonna get super rich. So that'll be pretty funny. For what it's worth, like we're gonna do this together. Like I won't cheat. I will write the code and I'll go to my terminal and do go build or go test or whatever, and we'll do that. And it'll be a lot of fun. So, but we've got to actually write something first. So you're waiting for Go 2.0 to migrate to Go modules. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah, that's Go 2.0. Yeah, that's it's not a real thing. Yeah, Go modules are pretty good. I kind of sat out the whole modules versus depth thing. I really didn't want to have a horse in that race. Mokapot, EU boys unite. Yeah, I should try Mokapot. I've got Chemex, I've got Aeropress, and I've got Cold Brew, and I've been doing Chemex before the streams here, which has been good. Go plus plus, yeah, exactly, right. So yesterday we got this working, and we got actually some test coverage too, which is pretty cool. So going back to where we were at, ethtool, test, yeah. So we got some coverage. I think next thing we wanted to test was probably the by index and then by name. So we're gonna add a by name as well. Mocha is the best mocha pot. You can literally pour a latte or cappuccino. Easiest way to make one. Interesting. Okay. Mocha. M-U-U-K. Hang on a sec. Mocha. Mocha pot. Oh, okay. I know what this is. I've heard of mocha pots, but I know exactly what this device is. I know what it was called. So that's cool. $240. No, there's a lot cheaper, of course. How good is the foam? Cappuccino foam, not so great, but I mostly use it for latte. Yeah, I'm a simple man. I drink black coffee. I wouldn't mind doing like espresso and stuff once in a while, but I'm a simple person. Okay. So I think probably for the time being, we're gonna duplicate this and we're gonna make a call that I hate duplicating code, but the thing is that like I just wanna, for the time being, it's probably the most sane thing we can do, right? So link info by name. So I feel like we should write a little bit of code before we like try compiling it or something, and then like make this more like legit, right? Amazon link. Let's see here. Oh, what? No smile? You don't care about charity? I'm kidding. Oh, okay. Mocha Express. All right, cool. I will write this down. Thank you. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm always into coffee gadgets and stuff. It's pretty fun for me. A good foam is what makes the espresso perfect. America coffee, am I right? Yeah, we're simple people. You're on a different compile, so you don't have the smile accent. Yeah, no worries. I was joking, but yeah, I'm trying to get in the habit of using the smile stuff on a regular basis. Like, frankly, I should have been a long time ago. I just for a long time I couldn't really think of any like. I mean, of course, there are lots of worthy charities and stuff. But I saw somebody you can actually donate to the Signal Foundation, like Signal the private messenger, and I think that's a pretty good cause these days. 0 flags 0 index 0 and then name. Yes, we're gonna pass. You do the EFF. Nice. Okay, yeah, EFF would be another good one too. Interface name must not be empty and call to client link info by name. Yeah. It's funny right now because I want to come over here and I want to start running my auto build stuff, but I want to wait because we're going to do a channel point bet. We're going to write a function and stuff and then like do some tests and then just see. And I mean, I actually can't bet. Like, I can't bet. I don't think mods can bet either, but it'll be pretty funny. Its name. You could also do the Tor Foundation, which is a sneaky way to give them money without traces back to you. Yeah, that's legit. Tor would be another good one for sure. Yeah, I think in this age, like stuff like internet privacy is pretty important, and that's something that I am happy to support. Don't allow our internal callers to violate API. Well, I guess the thing is here is that like the API allows you to set both, so I guess maybe like the API specifically permits setting both the interface index and interface name, so maybe I shouldn't safeguard against that. I mean, although it'll matter more later. Let's leave it alone for now. Anyway, empty string. So index name. Empty name means fetch everything. Yep. Link info by name. Okay. See, I immediately just want to come over here and see if the code compiles, but we're gonna wait. It's like I think this does. Oh, there's a warning. What's the warning? Oh, explorer type client should have a comment. Oh yeah, I can't believe I didn't comment that actually. A client can manipulate the ethtool netlink interface. Hey, good afternoon, Heratalk. How are you doing? Welcome back to the stream. We need to make sure this compiles on other platforms too. We're not going to do that. That's going to be, that's going to be a separate thing. But we'll write some code here, and then we'll try it, and we'll do a bet, and it'll be silly, and people are going to get mad, and it'll be a lot of fun for me to watch. So, Link info by name fetches link info for Ethernet device specified by name. Specified by its an interface index. Index must not be 0. Specified by an interface name. Name must not be empty. Name string by name string. Oh, shoot. That would not compile. I can't make this too easy, right? So if Ronnie B isn't here running the gambling rink, he probably got like 10 channel points though, so it's not going to be very good. But he'll gamble anyway. Chemex. So good. Link info by name, link info, okay, index int. Flags, no flags, 0 index, name string. Okay. I wonder if maybe I could like disable go please or something temporarily. That'd be pretty funny if I like edited this in nano instead. Maybe we'll do something like that later on. I guess we'll see. I need to do this too. With non-zero. Otherwise, we leave the header empty. Can you have a program that passes go vet, but the program doesn't compile? I don't think so. And the same thing with go test. Like, I was kind of wondering if I could, excuse me, I was kind of wondering if I could, like, go build without running the tests or something, but I'm not sure. I think it might all be kind of integrated, so. Bytes? Yes. ethtool, a header dev name. I think I actually do want string in this case. Yeah. Name. Okay. So we specify either the device index or the name, or possibly both in the future if we choose to expose that to the callers, which we probably will. For the time being, I just wanted to try this, though. But okay, so we've got something new, and normally this is where I would like be compiling stuff and whatever, but I feel like we should write some tests, like write a few tests and then see, like, it'll be more dramatic that way, right? So, but of course, if I write tests, I feel like my chances of this working are significantly lower because I'm going to be copying and pasting a bunch of stuff and making silly mistakes. So, test client link info. Link info. By interface. So we'll test both of them. And what we'll do here is the function we want to test is a function which returns a single link info and an error. By index, it will return a single link info and possibly an error depending on whether or not the device doesn't exist or isn't supported. I think it's probably a good idea as well. Actually, something else I want to do is I want to make it so that the kernel will give us back an e-op not supported for devices that are not part of the ethtool interface. So what we want to do actually is make it so that in Go terminology that probably becomes something compatible with errors is not exist. That's my normal convention for this sort of thing. So we'll probably do that. So by index, we'll have a link info structure. I think that we're gonna, we're gonna write like the passing test cases, and then like we'll add the error ones later where things get more complicated. But we'll do that, and then we'll get the bet going. It'll be pretty funny. Okay, so index 1. Let's see here. Name eth0 port twisted pair. So the function that we're invoking here is actually within the context of a client. So you pass the client in, and it returns link info. So a function which takes a client link info error return c link info by index 1, and we'll just hard code that. And we'll do the same thing for by name. Let's see here. By name. So by info by name. If I can type it all. Subtle, very subtle. Direct attach. We'll just change the type here to make it more convincing. Okay. So we got a couple of cases now. And then we're going to need to actually write out this. So the response message, let's see here. So the flags we expect are just requests. There's no acknowledge and no dump because this is a single request. We do link info get. That's still correct. What are your thoughts on a package like assert or require instead of tfatalf? Frankly, I don't feel the need. Like, the thing is I've never been bothered by like an if statement, right? Like, and I've got all these aliases for stuff like, you know, I write out error tfatalf. Oops. Error tfatalf, you know, or diff tfatalf, or error panic f. Like, I have all these little snippets in VS Code and stuff, so like I don't really feel the need. Like, I know it's a bit more typing, but I also appreciate how explicit it is. Like, there's never any question because you can see all the logic right in front of you. Like, I recognize that some people find those useful. I personally don't see the need. You know, it's personal preference. You and your team should figure out what you agree upon and like what works best for you. But my personal preference is to not bring in anything I don't need. But that being said, the Go CMP package, like, I think this is amazing, and like this saves you a lot of work. Excuse me, and it is much easier to read than reflect deep equal comparisons. So. You come from Java, so you're used to all of your asserting. Yeah, it makes sense. I can understand. I think the thing is with Go is that like I came into Go and I was writing Go like it was a different language, and I took the time to kind of like learn Go and realize that like, you know, Go has some different, you know, different ideas, different opinions, and I've kind of come to embrace that, you know. VS Code is a heaven tool for writing tests. I might have already said that, but yeah, it is. I like it a lot. Do you have any of those snippets on GitHub that I could take a peek? I do not, but let's see here. Snippets? Where are my snippets, actually? Preferences, user snippets. Go. Yeah, so log fatal f, t fatal f. Yeah, I've got a table-driven test. I've got a few of these I use. Sync weight group with Go routine. Wow, I forgot about this one. Yeah, I can post this on GitHub really quick. Just github.com. Shoot. These are my Go snippets. Let's see here. Matt's VS Code Go snippets. Oh, I didn't really want that to be secret, but I'll make public. There we go. It's like, it doesn't matter. Yeah, here you go. Hope that's useful. I mean, you know, adapt these for your own needs and stuff, but these are the ones that I use. Thanks. Yeah, no problem. Happy to help. It is an extension IMO. Opinions TM. Yeah, everybody has opinions, right? And that's okay. But ultimately, do what works best for you and your team. But that being said, I think that if you're there are people in the community who like refuse to do basic things like use Go format. Like, and that in my mind, like, there is no reason to not use it. Like, if you won't format your code the same way as literally everyone else in the community, like, you are only like alienating yourself. Like, there is no reason to not use that tool. And there are people who are regularly involved with the Go project and stuff who still refuse or still have gripes about these things. And like, I just can't believe that somebody would resist that hard for that long. And it's like, I would never want to work with somebody who doesn't like accept like, you know, who doesn't like accept like, you know, the standard things with like a language, you know. Go format is probably my favorite thing about the language. Yeah, I agree, 100%. I came to Go and I was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about you know, braces on the same line instead of on the next line, you know, almond style or whatever the hell, I forget. That stuff drove me nuts, you know, and it's like you realize that like, oh, having a formatter that just, you don't have to care anymore makes things so much better. Inconsistent formatting in your Java projects at work drives me literally insane. Yes, I totally understand that. I used to do PHP and my manager would do random indentations and it was awful. And I hated it. Hated every minute of it, so I completely understand. Link info by X. Interface calls. So this is going to have, depending on the call, either the index or the string. Let's see here. And the unnecessary GitHub comments after, or commits after reformatting. Yeah, people So the thing is, if you're committing stuff like oop, fix, test, go format, like you should just be amending your commits and like rebasing and stuff. Like make the commit history clean. You know, that's something I care about a lot. So the things you're missing in Go are mat, filter, reduce. I see what you mean, and I understand, and we're gonna get there with the generic stuff, but I don't find myself missing them that much. Like it's not that much work to write a couple of for loops and if statements. Like I do understand, I really do. And like when I use Rust, for example, I enjoy those things, but I don't find myself missing them in Go as much as I thought I might. You know. But I've also just come to really embrace the Go philosophy in a lot of ways. So what we need here actually is we need to associate an additional check. We want to make sure that we apply something to the nested attribute. Oh gosh. Okay, so this is going to be the... Shoot. This is going to be the client call, and then the check... Or the check we're going to do, or the... Yeah. So within the context, this is... Okay, here we go. Netlink attribute. Let me just think this through really quick. A function that accepts a netlink attribute encoder. Rob Pike filter, yeah, it's all empty interface. There is this package, but not for production, but they are possible. Yeah, exactly. Like, that is a thing you can do, but I think there's a comment in that package that says, like, you know, I don't use these and neither should you, and that's Rob Pike in a nutshell. Yeah, Rob made them and said you shouldn't use this, yeah. So, you know, wait for the generic stuff and Go, and if you find that you're still really missing them, excuse me, there's nothing stopping you from writing them at that point, you know. But that being said, unless code is significantly complex or there's a very good reason to do it, I'll probably still encourage people to use like for loops, you know. So the check functions here are going to determine what it is that we're checking in the netlink attributes. So in this case, we are going to be looking for AE uint32 of the index. So Unix, this stuff, device index. Here we go. So this works. This will work, and this will work as well. I tend to make a lot of use of these like anonymous functions or like closures and stuff, like because I just slightly modify different behaviors in the test. So the majority of the test can be exactly the same. Oh, the same guy who called me yesterday. Oh, so Hangouts, yeah, Hangouts once again. Give me just a sec. I'll be back. Sorry about that. So yeah, that's pretty funny now. The same guy calls me during stream 2 days in a row. Let me get my Hangouts open again and mute the notifications. I forgot that. So we were talking about like whiskey and stuff. Like there is this Irish whiskey. Let's see here. So Blue Spot Irish whiskey. He's just trying to be famous. Yeah, for real. So Blue Spot. Here we go. 1970. 18. Okay, whatever. So Blue Spot is a 7-year Irish whiskey, cask strength, like aged in. Let's see here. Bourbon casks, sherry butts, and Portuguese Madeira casks, bottled at cask strength. This sounds incredible, right? And my store had like 3 of these, and a friend wanted one, so I picked him up one this morning, and there was one more left. So I actually met with a different friend, and I have a sample of it, and I was actually considering pouring this like, you know, later today and like trying it. And I'm like, oh, if I like it, I can go pick up the last one tomorrow. But it turns out my buddy just went to go buy it for himself, and it was already gone. So, damn whiskey, man. It's what I get for slacking off. You know, what are you gonna do? But pretty funny. So I'm looking forward to trying. I got a little 2-ounce bottle of this. I'm excited to give this a try. I'm not usually that big on Irish whiskey. I find it's a little lacking in flavor compared to like Scotch, especially Islay, which I love. But you know, pretty funny. Dev name. So basically what I'm doing here in this code is we're going to make this call by the client. The client's going to trigger this, which is going to cause a certain series of netlink messages to be sent. And then we're going to check a couple of things, like check for this attribute or check for this attribute, is essentially what we're going to do. Time and place for both is the same with Japanese whiskey. Yeah, that's exactly it. Like, the thing is in like West Michigan is frankly, most people only care about bourbon. So stuff like Japanese, Irish, Scotch sits around forever. So I was actually pretty surprised to see the Blue Spot is already gone. What are you going to do? A friend of mine bought one. Like, I'm sure if I like it, I could probably trade in for more stuff. But I was considering buying one for myself, but also that would put my whiskey budget like at the max for the month. So I'm trying not to do that. I just picked up, did I post it on Twitter? Twitter, MD Lair. I did not post it on Twitter. Give me 1 sec. I'll pull it up, but gotta look at my files, man. Where is it? What about your unplanned expenses budget? Yeah, I actually got rid of that one because I found that I wasn't using it. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. So I found these the other day. Like when I was looking at the Blue Spot and stuff, I found these instead. So this is the new Jack Daniel's Heritage Barrel Rye for this year, the special release. So barrel proof rye, 132.1 proof. Like that is hot, hot, hot. But it should be really good. So I'm excited. And then this Woodford, this is really interesting too. So this is a Woodford Reserve, very fine, rare bourbon. I think it's like, older whiskey, but 90.4 proof, but it was like $128 or something. So it's pretty expensive, but it's really tasty. It's got kind of like a cool chocolatey thing going on. So I thought that was pretty good. That Woodford is good. Yeah, it's a new release. I just picked one up. I'm happy with it, But I traded my buddy 2 ounces of that for 2 ounces of the Blue Spot because the Blue Spot's the one thing I wanted and passed on, and now it's gone. So I guess I'll tell my other friend. I'm glad I got it for you. You opened this last night, drinking local. What do we got? All right, let me. Did I close the file browser? Yes, I did. Okay, cool. It's kind of funny doing stuff on stream because you never really know. Like, you want to make sure you don't have stuff open. Pennsylvania bourbon. Okay, yeah, I've never heard of this, but yeah, I mean, it's always cool to drink local stuff. Unplanned expenses equals whiskey and coffee. Now I got a budget category for coffee comes out of my restaurant budget, which I haven't spent very much of because I couldn't eat stuff for a while. I couldn't eat like real food. Are we drinking already? No, we're discussing whiskey though. Apparently, my friend called me and he said that the bottle of whiskey I was thinking about buying for myself, but actually I was talking about with you, Eric. The bottle of whiskey I wanted to buy apparently already sold, so I can't. Oh, Jimmy's already drinking. See, if I drink right now, like, I'm not going to get anything done. Like, I actually want to do this code, Yeah, damn. Damn it, damn it. Anyway. You did try, not so long ago, Jim Beam Red Stag Black Cherry. Huh, I've never had that. I like Jim Beam, though. I bet they have Maker's Mark in stock. Yeah, they definitely do. How's your health, by the way? I think you tweeted surgery. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm doing really well. I'm about a month post-surgery at this point. I've got some cool scars on my stomach. But basically, I had to go liquid diet for a little bit and then, like, very slowly work back up to real foods. And now I'm at the point where I mostly can eat real food, but if I eat too fast or too much, like, I can be in some pretty serious pain. So, working my way back up. Still can't lift weights, or I think I'm getting close to being able to lift weights again, which will be good. But yeah, I'm doing really well. Thank you. I appreciate that. You are finishing someone else's beer right now. Good times. Nice. Hey, COVID. Don't finish other people's drinks. I'm kidding. Right. Eric, shouldn't you be drinking cold brew right now? Encode, link info, TTLI. I feel like this is gonna bite me. I feel like this is gonna bite me with the pointer dereference. I should probably get rid of this. You are drinking cold brew. Nice. Zaggy, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm drinking Chemex. It's good. And I got my big, this is my extra big ass mug. This thing is huge. I got this at the Michigan Renaissance Festival, actually. I love it. It's got kind of this cool, like, tree design on it. It's like this really sturdy ceramic. It feels very satisfying to drink out of. Right, so let's see here. Apply additional attributes via the check function so that we can call both the index and name methods without duplicating much more logic. Right, and that will be TT check on the nested, because this will actually apply the attributes here. So the bytes that we're comparing with for the request bytes, we're actually applying the link info header and then appropriately either the device index attribute or the device name attribute using this check function. So the call function is what the client's doing. So we're going to replace this. So link info error equals TT call with the client. And then we compare link info versus link info. And that's it. So I believe we might be ready for our channel point bet. I'm pretty afraid. I feel like I need to look this over one more time. So you like the AeroPress, but it takes so much time for me to do that in the morning. Yes, I totally understand. So I make cold brew. I've been making cold brew for a couple of years now. So cold brew is almost always my morning go-to. And what I'll do is I will heat up a mug with water in it and boil some water. And then you dump the water out of the mug, so you have a hot mug now. You add cold brew and you mix with boiling water, and you get a nice hot cup of coffee in the morning, but it's cold brew and it's less effort. But the Chemex, Chemex takes 5 or 10 minutes of prep with the grinding and everything else. So it's I do Chemex in the afternoons. But first thing in the morning, I'm all about the simple, cold brew stuff. Okay, so I got to examine my code carefully. You're all going to make me sweat. Hey, Ronnie B, you still here? It's the ultimate sweat. Let's see here. So buy index 1. How do I bet? You'll see. I'll get it going. I'll start the prediction. Actually, I guess now I can start right now. Hang on a sec. So start a prediction. Will the code compile and test pass on the first try? Will it compile, test pass on the first try? Okay. Yes. No. So I will give you all 2 minutes. 2 minutes to do your channel point betting and stuff. Let's see here. You or Mob will need to confirm the outcome. Got it. Okay. We're starting to bet. Here we go. So if you want to get a lot more channel points so you can get your code review or whatever else, we are starting a channel point bet right now. So if you are here and you have channel points, you can bet on whether or not the code will compile or not. So we have written... Oh, what's up, Craig? We have written a new function, a new test. Oh, shit. You know what? I bet it won't go. Hang on. Wait, did I already get this? I did. Okay. I'm all in. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, we're gambling on my stream right now. You got about another minute and a half to get your bets in. If you want to get a code review done, this could be a very good time to make some money. If you believe in me, I think probably the odds are against me. I think chances are pretty good. That the code will not compile on the first try. So if somebody bets yes and everybody else bets no, they're going to get really rich. But oh, what's up, Taryn? Twitch only sent me a notification 3 minutes ago. Oh, that's a bummer. Oh, you can't bet in your country? That's bullshit. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I know some countries are not allowing that. But this is a feature I've seen pretty often in other people's streams, and it's pretty funny. Also, Eric put 1.5k against me. Oof. Man. So link info by name. Okay, I got 40 seconds left to look at my code, right? So link info by name calls CC link info by name. Let's see here. So link info passes 3 parameters. Link info by index, flags, index, string, flags, index, string, link info, flags, index, string, netlink attribute encoder, index device name. This better work. GLHF. I see Craig also betted against me. Hey, somebody betted for me. We got 100 channel points for me. Who betted yes? Oh, yeah, Taryn, you can't bet because you wanted us to verify it. Yeah, I think that, yeah, mods can't bet, unfortunately. Oh, man. By index, by name. Oh, Heritage bet 4 just for the big win. This is so goofy. Okay, we got the request, we got the comparison, we got the header, we got the check function. This is set for both. The link info is set for both. The call is set for both. Ooh, I just spotted a problem. It still might not pass, though. It still might not pass. You needed to use a VPN for this. It better fail. All right, here we go. Ready? Go test -v. It passed. It passed first try. Cheating? Was that cheating? Because I spotted a problem before I ran the thing. Choose prediction outcome. The answer is yes. Oh, something went wrong. Come on. No, Twitch is being a shit. Runner plus 15, 18 channel points. LL. Yeah, there you go. I love that you took channel points from 3 of my real life friends. We lose, but with honor. Yeah, sorry about that. That was sucked out. Runner bullshit. Oh man, that was so close. So unfollowed, delete Twitch account, destroy computer. So what I noticed here is the capital C client and the lowercase c client are not the same, and I fixed that last minute. Like that would have been something that would have prevented it from working. But also, if the code had compiled but the test had failed, you all still would have won. So I think that still the odds were in your favor. I think that me spotting something before I run the tool is still fair. So, all right, GG. First channel point bet down. I really love that Heritok got 1,500 channel points for that. So you bet 100 and you got a 15x payout. I feel like a fish. Yeah, you're always chasing the river. Haters, where are you now, haters? That's incredible. It was 1 to 15.18. Damn, you really did want that Hello World code review. How do you not put a small amount in the payout? So you can actually, I believe you can click a... When you're doing the prediction UI, there's like a button that says like, just like vote or something, but you can also enter a custom amount. There's like a little pencil there. I know you can do that on at least mobile and desktop. Depending on your Twitch client, it may or may not support it, but that's amazing. I just love that all of my friends lost. That makes my day. The people in real life who were betting against me all lost. Like that makes my heart full of joy. Unrelated, but do you still use Ansible for your home lab? So I use Ansible, friends in quotes. I use Ansible for very few things on my desktop and my laptop these days, but my home lab stuff is almost all NixOS. So if you go to mdlayer home lab, I used to have this repo called Ansible. Now it's called home lab. And excuse me, if you check out the NixOS folder here, you can see my router config and my server config. And these are the machines that I configuration manage the most seriously, and this is all NixOS, so no more Ansible. And frankly, I think that for headless infrastructure, NixOS is the perfect fit. Like, this is, for example here, so this is CoreRad, this is my side project. I actually added a module for CoreRad to NixOS and got it packaged. So you write services, CoreRad, enable true. You say you wanted to use, for example, the unstable version, get it newer. And then I've got some magic here that actually you can use the Nix language and like iterate over my interfaces and generate a configuration. And all of this gets translated into TOML and applied with the latest version of CoreRad running as a systemd unit on my machine. And like, it's incredible. So I love how this has turned out. And I think that for infrastructure, NixOS is incredible. So I would highly recommend giving it a try. I suspect that I probably will not. I suspect I probably will not win every channel point bet. Yeah, no problem. I'm always happy to answer questions. Like if you are in here and you have a question about like any of my projects or whatever, assuming it's fairly quick, I don't ever mind like answering or going off topic. If it's something more in depth, I might ask you to like file a GitHub issue. But I'm always happy to talk to people, and share knowledge. May you ask an unrelated question? What is the rationale behind command test in here? Let's see here. Oh, SD notify. Command SD notify test this. I assume this program, right? Yeah, I think so this is actually, I use this for an integration test. So if you go to, the SD notify test, what I actually do right here. So I verify that like if this binary exists in the current directory, it will actually run it and it will set up it basically pretends to be systemd and sets up a socket and passes the yeah, it passes the environment variable of the SD-Notify socket, and then it actually makes sure that the program using the SD-Notify client is able to send messages back to its supervisor, which would normally be systemd, but in this case, it's my test. So I actually use that for an integration test. Perhaps I can denote that a little bit more clearly, but yeah, that's something I use to verify that like I'm following the systemd protocol appropriately. There we go. Yeah, no problem at all. I'm always happy. I'm always happy to explain stuff. But yeah, this SD-Notify stuff, I actually use this. This is used in CoreRad, now in Tailscale too, and probably a couple other places. So pretty cool. So I believe we were at the point where I could probably. I want to take a look at the APIs one more time. I think we're probably gonna collapse these calls into a couple of. Let's see here. So link info get. That's what we just did. How about link? Hang on. Link modes get. Request header, wake on lane get, request header, rings get, request header, reply header, pause get, request header. So it's all request header. And I think the request header is always the same. Yeah, it's always the device index, the name. Yeah, so what we're going to do here is we're actually going to collapse the calls. I've decided what I want to do. So we are going to modify this now and collapse these two calls into one. So what I have decided is we're going to do this. Type request struct. A request is the ethtool netlink interface request header, which is used to identify the interface being queried by its index and or name. Index int, name string. Callers may choose to set either interface index, interface name, or both fields. Note that if both are set, the kernel will verify that the both the index and name are associated with the same interface. So what we're going to do here is we're going to make it so that the caller actually has total control over this, and they can specify if they care about just the interface index, just the interface name, or both. Because the kernel supports that, so why not expose that to the user, right? It's going to be just a little bit more verbose maybe, but I think this will give us some flexibility. And in addition, we could potentially expose these header flags and stuff. I don't know. I haven't really run into this yet. I know there's a couple of calls that use this, but we'll get there. So what I'm going to do now is link info. Let's see here. What do we call this now? Fetches link info for the Ethernet device specified by the request header. Note that, let's see here. In the request, either the index name or both fields must be set. Either the index name or both fields. That's a weird. I don't like that. I guess I don't like the wording of that. Either the index. Can you use the word either with three things? I feel like that's wrong. The request. The caller must set the index name or both fields. I think that's pretty better. Link info by. So we have the link info call and then link info. I guess I could call it link infos. I guess I could call the other one link infos instead. So if I call this link infos, and I call this link info, right? So like that's probably okay. For each supported Ethernet device, for each ethtool supported Ethernet device in the system, ethtool supported interface on this system. Is this convention confusing? I guess link infos, like link infos returns more than one structure than link info is going to be by request. So link info fetches link info for the interface. The interface specified by the request header. And this is where also we're going to add the documentation about the not exist stuff. So if the requested device is not supported by ethtool, by the ethtool interface, and error compatible with errors is error os error not exist will be returned. So this is a convention I like to do because this way we're going to convert the platform dependent code into a platform independent Go error, which I think will be more useful for people. So now that I can actually use my tools again, I'm going to go ahead and do this. It's really funny because I know some people will write code. Some people will write code like all in VS Code with like the integrated terminal and stuff. For me, I've always got this terminal open on my left monitor normally. So like the entire time I've got feedback going out of like what exactly needs to be fixed next. That just works best for me. Yeah, not using my tools was stressful. It was pretty funny though. I'm glad we did that. That was actually a lot of fun. We're definitely gonna do more of those, like silly stuff. Like how many times will Matt mention whiskey in this stream? Link infos. Okay, yeah, so we're gonna go with. We talked about this yesterday. We could either do pass both, or different functions is what we did for now, or this request struct. This is what we're gonna do, or functional options. I think that the one I like the best is the request struct because that gives us the most flexibility. Link info. Link infos. Link info. Request or our request is what I guess what I'm calling it. So. So the caller has to set one or the other. At least one of them has to be set in this case. So let's see here. So if our index equals 0 and our name is empty, the caller has to specify some identifier or the kernel will e-inval. Yeah. Interface request must be non-zero, must have an index and or name set and call to client link info. And then we actually pass both to the kernel because now we are going hands off here. So if the client happens to pass something like if you pass, for example, the index of the loopback and then the name of Ethernet 0, the kernel will actually give us an error. Hey, Church, thank you for the Prime sub. I appreciate that. This is really your first sub with me? Oh, what's up, man? Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate that. Yeah, give me your money. give me your Jeff Bezos Amazon money. So Twitch Prime is pretty cool. If you are watching Twitch and you want an ad-free experience and you want to support a streamer, as long as you have an Amazon Prime account, you can link it with your Twitch account and then you have Twitch Prime. And you basically get a free sub per month you can give to a streamer. I'm not saying you have to give it to me, but you should give it to somebody. If there are people you watch on Twitch and you want to support, give them your Prime sub because you are getting money back that you spent to Amazon and giving it to somebody in the community. So in my case, I have mentioned that, the money I make from Twitch and other things often goes to like, Dominic or other folks in the community. Like I'm giving back to the community through the money I make here because I have a full-time job. But that being said, I encourage everybody, if you are so inclined, like, Prime sub to me, to Large Databank, to Mdemsky, to other folks in the community, like, support streamers that you care about. And in turn, it means a lot to us and it means a lot to the community, Index name. Single link. Press info about single link. Note that if the client happens to pass an incompatible non-zero index name pair, the kernel will return an error and we'll immediately send that back. I suspect it would probably return a netlink e-inval, I'm guessing, which is, I guess, fine. We could potentially wrap it if we cared, but I don't know. The one thing we are going to convert, though, is the op not supported. So let's see here. So if the queried interface does not use the ethtool or is not supported, it's not supported by the ethtool APIs, enforce the contract with callers by wrapping that error by providing an OS independent Go error which the caller can inspect. So if errors is error Unix op not supported, we're going to unpack that and then return OS error not exist instead. And this is just kind of a nice thing. This is a convention I like to follow because otherwise you are passing up syscall errors to your caller. And especially if they're writing cross-platform code, they suddenly have to introduce build tags for everything they use that uses your code, which is just not a good experience. So it's my experience that, you know, people tend to appreciate little quality of life things like this. So it's worth doing. So now we have link info. Link info by name totally goes away. Let's see here. So when fetching by index or name, one or both will be non-zero. Otherwise, yeah. So this is exactly the same. So if the caller happens to specify a request that has both an index and a name, we're actually going to pass both to the kernel, and then the kernel enforces the invariant that they're part of the same interface. So, I apologize. I can tell I'm talking fast. It's the coffee. You know, the coffee is kicking in, so it's all gone. See? All right. How you all doing? I'm having a good time. I like working on this project. I think this is very fun for me, and especially, you know, doing it with people who are interested or want to learn more or want to ask questions, you know, makes it more worthwhile, right? So now we can actually test all, well, whenever we get our code compiling again, we can actually test all this as well, which would be good. I'm going to write docs too, because I care about docs. Let's see here. You have almost no idea what we were building, but you like to hear the Go commentary. Right on. Yeah, that's fair enough. Basically, yeah, we're writing a... So effectively what we're doing is we are building... let's see here, ethtool-s, EMP4S0. Yeah. We are building a program which can access the kernel's ethtool APIs. So for example, you can look at like the low-level information of the Ethernet devices on your machine. So like, for example, here we can see the number of like, yeah, multicast or broadcast frames or RX, like CRC errors. So these are all like really low-level things that the kernel exposes, but they're not part of like the typical netlink routing stuff, like the layer... They're not part of like the layer 3 route netlink. This is like, you know, layer 2 and effectively layer 1, like the physical layer for Ethernet. So I think what I want to do with this is either, you know, potentially put this in Node Exporter for Prometheus, but it could. But the thing is the Node Exporter already has so much in it. And I'm kind of, when I was working on the Prometheus stuff a little bit more, I was starting to become a little bit hesitant to keep adding things to Node Exporter. So I will either build an independent exporter for this, or perhaps like a full monitoring program that says like, hey, your NIC is giving CRC errors, like there's probably something wrong with the cable, and can alert you on that. Because I've actually had this problem before. Like I have had devices or cables go bad, and the only way you can tell is by looking at these low-level counters. So this program will be able to let us know. So this is going to be very useful for me. Test client link info. Link infos. Line 24. Uh-oh, what's going on? Apparently, so my brother said he stopped by the stream, but he's like, oh, I'm out in the middle of Wyoming, so I don't have much internet connection, so I couldn't hang out in the stream. And it's like, that's fine. You know, I get it. I wish I was out in the middle of Wyoming right now doing whatever. Not a whole lot going on in Kalamazoo right now, you know, but this is why we're here doing this. It's pretty fun still. Hello? Oh, there we go. Oh. I'll change that variable name. 129. So now, instead of this function, we can actually get rid of this now, and we can make it so that the request structure we populate as appropriate. request index1. I think this will actually end up being a pretty ergonomic API for callers too. Like, you know, of course, specifying the struct is going to be a bit more verbose, but since with the struct here, you can effectively get optional parameters by, you know, just having the keyed struct literals. Like, this makes things pretty easy, you know. C, link, info, TT. I guess we'll do R. R is the convention I've been using here. R for request. There we go. Hey, the test passed. So we actually managed to collapse the two different functions into one. And now the calling API, I can update my program here, my test tool. Link infos. There we go. So if we run this, what we've got so far is, yeah, we can dump out the information about the devices, or we could also do, for example, li error, c link info, ethtool request. This, for example, let's see what the kernel says. So index1, I'm pretty sure is my loopback, and then name emp5s0. Failed to get link info. This should return an error. Spew dump. By the way, Go Spew is this really nice little package I tend to import for dumping out information to the terminal like this. It gives you all the types, the memory addresses, the fields, the slice lengths, like, very handy. Sci-Fi, welcome. Or Siffy? Sci-Fi? I apologize. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow, I appreciate that. Uh-oh. My terminal... I lose the terminal? Sometimes I hit some key combination and, like, freeze things. Okay, hang on a sec. Do you want to support the full ethtool interface or just the read-only metrics? I have a vague memory of needing to use ethtool to actually modify stuff like TSO, GSO. Yeah, so my initial goal is to do the read-only stuff, of course, but actually I want to implement the full API because I think this could be useful. And like we could potentially make like a daemon that can manipulate these things, like some kind of like Ethernet manipulation, you know, like layer 1 control daemon or something. You know, that allows you to control things like TSO, GSO, or stuff like the wake on LAN parameters. Like I think that would all be pretty useful, you know. So my intent is to keep fleshing this out, although, you know, the metrics are the obvious thing I need immediately, which is why I was considering just adding them to Node Exporter. But if we can make like an Ethernet monitoring daemon that does the metrics in addition to like potentially like a REST API for the rest of this stuff, I think that'd be pretty cool too. So I think I'll probably end up building out like an entire daemon for this. It might be worth looking at Valast as a Go Spew alternative. Interesting. Never heard of it. Oh, Val AST. Converts Go values to their AST. Interesting. Produces Go-like output, but not Go syntax. Interesting. Neat. Yeah, totally. I think that, like, it's kind of funny because I was looking for more home labby type projects, and when I saw this ethtool netlink interface, it's like, holy shit, like, I'm the perfect person to do that because I wrote all this netlink stuff and I know what I'm doing, and like, this would actually solve a real problem for me that I've encountered, so I think it's absolutely worth doing. Maybe you hit Control S. I think you're right. I've definitely done that before. Unlock with Control Q or add stty-ixon to bash rc. Okay, good to know. Control Q. So if I do, let's see here, Control S. Yep, that's exactly it. Yeah. Thank you for the tip. That's something I do all the time. I think, you know, probably what I'm doing is I'm Control S-ing in VS Code and I flip over here and suddenly my terminal's locked. That helps a lot. Thank you. I appreciate that. See, this is why one of the reasons I love Twitch streaming is that like people teach me all kinds of tricks. I used to do, for example, I would do you know, this, and I would type clear. And somebody, I don't remember exactly who it was, I apologize, but Control L does the same thing. And it's like, I had no idea. I've been using Linux for, you know, 12 years now-ish, and I had no idea up until 6 months ago, you know. So Twitch streaming is great, and I appreciate how much I can learn from just being here and interacting with you all. So, thank you. So this also gives no such device. So that's a different syscall error. I wonder if I should wrap that too, but so for example here, if I do index 99, which doesn't exist on my machine. Oh, no such device. I think what I was thinking of here is name. So if I do the loopback device, right? Loopback isn't supported. File does not exist. Yeah. So we have op not supported and no such device, and I wonder if I should coalesce both into is not exist. Because I guess for the purposes of this program, it's like either it supports ethtool or it doesn't, right? And you shouldn't really have to care, so maybe either one. I think I'll probably do that for now. We can always reevaluate. The request device does not exist or is not supported by the ethtool interface. So if errors is or errors is error Unix no such no dev, right? Yeah. I think this will actually give us the same thing. Yeah, file does not exist. Perfect. So the loopback does exist, but it's not compatible, and then index 99 doesn't exist at all. There we go. So now we've got an API contract that if you specify something nonsensical that doesn't make sense to the ethtool library, it will tell you not exist, which I think is reasonable. Would callers care to differentiate the device not existing at all or versus not being supported? I guess they could use like net interface by name. Like chances are pretty good you're going to be looking up information about interfaces that you've already queried somewhere else, I would think. I would think. What do you all think? I think intuitively, I think it makes sense to leave this alone, but let's see. What's going on in the Twitterverse? Oh, yeah. I'm so popular on Twitter, guys. Excuse me, folks. Let's see here. Appreciate the support, Steve, if you're still here watching. Cool. Yeah, val AST, we should try this. So val AST string, huh? And then thumbs print line. Val AST string, LIs. The problem is I've never added this to my Go mod or anything, so let's see here. Roboxtra, welcome. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, yesterday was awesome. We got a big raid from Anthony Writes Code, and that was extremely cool. So if there are folks here from Anthony's stream from yesterday, welcome. I appreciate you coming back. I hope to continue building out the community of folks that I know or, who do the code streaming thing. Like, I think we can all really support each other, whether it's Go or PHP or Python or Node.js or whatever else, I think it's pretty cool. So yeah, let's try this really quick. Val AST. Oh, nice. See, that's pretty good, but the one thing I like about Spew that was better is Spew will actually give you like the so if I do Spew dump instead, LIs. See, Spew gives you the length and capacity of the slice. Like, I think this is pretty useful because I've had silly things before where like, I'm trying to figure out the difference between like a nil slice or a slice with length 0 and capacity 0, right? And stuff like that. So I think I like this a little bit better, but val AST could be useful for like copying and pasting stuff for sure. So that's a good tip though. All right, making progress, doing good. You think the output is still different? Yeah, I mean, the output is different. About all ethtool supported links. Link info fetches information about a single ethtool supported link. Link info is the internal function shared function shared request function for link infos. There we go. So you'll see array of type nil in that case, no, rather than just nil. Yeah, I guess you're probably right. I think what I was referring to specifically, like I was giving that example, but I like this. I like length equals 5, capacity equals 8. I find this useful because like a lot of libraries hide the slice details from you, you know? Make sure we got good doc comments and everything. And we also need to make this build on other platforms. So go OS equals Darwin. Sure. Yeah, exactly. Undefined client. Yep, so we need to create the client others. There's that go. Plus build, not on Linux. Type client struct error unsupported. Error F ethtool. Let's see here. This library is not supported on %s%s. Runtime goose, runtime gorch. So this will say, like, you know, for example, Darwin AMD 64 or whatever else. So we have client, func new client. Error, return nil, error unsupported. Oh, I forgot the package comment, or the package declaration. Package, what's this called? ethtool. There we go. Okay, cannot use client as type client in... Oh, this produces a capital C client. Is that... That's not quite what I want, though, I don't think. I think I actually want the lowercase c and then... Mate Elite. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Yeah, it feels a little weird. Maybe return this as is, C nil. And then we can wrap it out here instead. So the OS specific client. And then we wrap it here. There we go. Actually, so I could do my go watch thing with go OS equals Darwin, I think, and the same outcome. Yeah, there we go. Okay, line 56. So we need link infos, link info R, right? Jamming, straight jamming. Client, link infos. Link info, error, return nil, error unsupported. Oops. And ill. How strange. Link info. You know, it's kind of funny because I was thinking like, oh, maybe these functions should support a context, but the netlink stuff is all local IPC with the kernel, so it's like there's no delays or anything, and I don't think, you know, we have to plumb that in using like timeouts and stuff, and it's like there's no point, you know. But kind of intuitively now, I've gotten used to creating new libraries with context support. But in this particular case, I don't think there's any point. If we had like a function that was listening for multicast group stuff, then yeah, we probably would, but otherwise, we don't need to. Error, return, error unsupported. So we have all these shims that, let's see here. Error unsupported indicates that this library is not functional on non-Linux platforms. Cool. It compiles. That's good. That means that we can make sure this doesn't break on other platforms, which is, you know, a useful property. I don't know, can GitHub Actions do non-Linux CI at this point? I was previously using SourceHut builds, and SourceHut is like, you know, it's fine, but I would like to continue using GitHub Actions for everything these days if I can. Yes, they do. Oh, nice. Oh, Mac OS and Windows. Oh, awesome. Okay. I should do that then. I should set that up. So let's do GitHub Actions Mac OS. YAML workflow label. Ah, I see. Mac OS latest. Seems reasonable to me, I suppose. I don't really care about, you know, Catalina versus Big Sur or whatever else. Static analysis, Linux test. Let's see here. So macOS test. What's the capitalization to the lowercase? Yeah, Mac stuff. macOS latest. Hey, what's up? Two Frames. How's it going? Nice to see you here on Twitch. Welcome. Thank you for the follow. Give me your Twitch Prime sub, please. Appreciate that. Yeah, this will just make sure this compiles and everything. So it's probably fine. I would expect this to pretty much work as is, huh? The only difference is just the macOS latest and the Ubuntu latest. A lot of real life folks showing up in the stream today. It's pretty funny. Yes, this continues to compile. That's good. We have now collapsed all the common functionality into this link info thing. So this will prevent you from sending an empty request, which we should probably test for as well, actually. We should test for empty request. We should also test for the e-opnot support and e-no-dev. Like those are contracts we want to continue to enforce. So it's important that we do so. So that's good to go. That's good to go. Close, close, close. Client test Linux. There we go. So we are returning a lowercase c client. I feel like we could almost test the exported API instead. I mean, I know that it's just a facade, really, but we're at the point where... Oh, sorry, I was actually trying to open this. It's all like basically just these small shims, but I guess I'd feel better if we tested that. So maybe I should make it so this returns a capital C client. Let's see here. So init client. And everything should still pretty much pass, actually. Cannot use type C, line 43. TTFN takes a client with a capital C. Capital C client. There we go. Easy enough. So now we're testing the exported interface as well as the Linux shims, which is good. Yeah, so we've got the link infos. And now we've got link info. So here we can have a request, a function to check the request, the output link info structure that's also used to generate the messages, and we need to possibly have errors we expect as well. So in this case, the error would be like is not exist. Hey, Two Frame, thank you for the Prime sub. I appreciate that. Yeah, my begging worked. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Now you got to go pay somebody else $5 a month for a streamer you actually watch. By name, by index, and then by both. Right, so I suppose you can do both. So name eth1, index is 2, eth1, and in addition to the device name, we'll also have the device index, which is going to be 2. So see, the advantage of writing the test in this way is that like we made it flexible enough that all we can do is just like add a new test case and then check a couple of different attributes, and then we're done. And see, the test passed now, we can verify that when you pass both, like it actually sets both attributes appropriately. So I think this is a pretty good setup. Okay by index, okay by name, okay both. And then now we will have the bad test cases. So for example, empty request. There will be no check function. There will be no link info. There will be an error, which is actually this. Suppose I could give this request. Let's have index and our name set. I guess I could... This is going to apply to almost all of the methods, so I could either wrap this or I could make this a sentinel. I guess a sentinel is probably okay. set ethtool request must have index and or name set when calling client methods. Error bad request. Error bad request equals this. Error bad request indicates an invalid request from the caller. Request with the capital C. So now when you specify an empty request, the error we're going to give back is error bad request. So now we also, instead of checking for this must pass, we actually have to check and see if it's okay or not. So the way I would usually do this is if error not equals nil. So I actually have a T error. Okay, there we go. So this is a slight variation of this, but expected an error but not occurred. So if, let's see here. If TT error equals nil, failed to get link info. So this means that we expected no error, but there was an error. So now if TT error not equals nil, but the error is nil, so this way the test is checking. So if there was no error, if we don't expect an error and we get one, then it says failed to get link info. If the test expected an error but it didn't get one, it says expected an error but not occurred. And otherwise, if error not equals nil, we can check whatever logic we want. So in this particular case, we will diff the errors. So TT, we want to test against want got TT error. Actually, we can remove this now because it's either going to be nil or unexpected error. Unexpected error. There we go. Oh, this is the string comparison. Yeah, it is. So the problem with using errors new is that it returns this unexported like error string type, and the Go CMP package always blows up with this. So, consider using equate errors. Oh, that's new. Okay. I did not know about that. Let's check that out really quick. I normally would write a small equality function, but it looks like there is one here. Yeah. So returns a compare option that determines errors to be equal if errors reports them to match. Perfect. So I guess in this case, oh, you know what? I probably, yeah, equate errors. Comparer. Comp opt dot equate errors. Is that it? Ops. I think that'll work. There we go. So now it's actually checking the errors, and if the errors are different, so for example, if we do, so now we say errors new bad. So the error we expect request must not have this stuff, and we actually got bad. So there we go. Cool. So we tested one error case, and then the other that I guess I kind of want to test this too, the unexpected number of messages. I guess it doesn't really matter. That's pretty unlikely that the kernel would mess up that way, but let's see here. So I'm not supported in Eno Dev. We want to check both of those as well, actually. Empty request. Okay, let's see here. So Eno Dev. So given an error, we want OS error not exist. And this, let's see here. So this needs to be a netlink error. Yeah, it's going to unwrap the netlink error. So how do I want to do this? I need to actually modify this so that there could be a netlink error returned as well. And then the netlink error call would be this is where the tests start getting a little more complicated because you have multiple cases here mixed in with like successful versus like, let's see here. So used for successful tests and then used for error tests. So we have the output error and then we're going to have the NL error. So the netlink error and then the error. So the netlink error in this case, yeah. So for example here, the one you expect is file not exist. Yeah, so what we want to specify now, given a request, I guess this isn't technically true anymore because they're going to have both. Yeah, I guess I'll leave these comments out. So we specify a request here, and we expect that it's going to pass the device index header, but we're actually going to return a netlink error here. So the netlink error is going to be, shoot, I've got a helper for this. I forget exactly how it works though. Oh, that exploded. Nil pointer dereference. Fun. Hey, Catscorn Dev, welcome. Thank you for the follow. Do you have 2 Twitch accounts? Yeah, I think you have 2 Twitch accounts now, don't you? Are you going to start streaming? That'd be sick. You should do that. Thank you for the follow. I hope you're doing well. So I have a helper here, NL test error. Yeah, so the error number and then the requests. Oh boy. Don't I have a GENL test error too? This is like a whole thing. Yeah, I do. Okay. Yep, okay. And the error number. So let's see here. This is my affiliate one. Oh, wait, you hang on. How long have you been streaming? How did I not know that? Account created in 2014? That's what it says. Hang on. I didn't know you streamed. I will follow you. That's awesome. Yeah, streaming is a lot of fun. I definitely, if there are folks out there who have been considering doing this, you really should. Used to stream World of Warcraft. Oh, nice. Right on. Yeah, streaming is a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing this. Like, it gives me motivation to work on these projects, and I think I can teach people, and I can get excited and drink coffee and talk about life, and you know, it's all a very good thing. So this is going to be, this is actually going to be error no. This is a Unixy error, so dev. Let's see here, 215 line. That's why. So, either return a netlink error number or canned data messages. So if tt error no not equals 0, return nil GNL test error. Johan says hi. Hey, tell him I say hi. Tell him he should start streaming too. He's got lots of experience, and people would appreciate watching him. So I've kind of found like renewed energy with this over the past like month or so. There was a while where I took a break over the summer and stuff, just from open source and everything in general. But especially now, there's going to be a period, especially I think in like March, where some friends actually want to get together and go out of town. But the rule is that like if you want to go out of town this trip, you have to quarantine for a couple of weeks. So I'm gonna buy a bunch of groceries and probably just like Twitch stream and stuff. So I'll be doing this. So TT air no. I think this will work. Close. Unix enodev is an int. But isn't it an int? Can I cast this to an int? Yeah, I can. There we go. Hey, perfect. Enodev. And I can actually deduplicate the check functions as well. Fat Matt stream pog. What was the other error number? Enodev eop not support. So eop not support. Cool. So now we have the cases covered. So we actually got the bad request as well as the kernel, the netlink error unpacking covered. The only thing we don't have covered is this function, or this check, but I don't know if I really care. Because the kernel returning an invalid number of messages means that there's something clearly very wrong with our code. I almost feel like this is panic worthy. Like this is actually almost panic worthy instead of error worthy, because this means that like some invariant, like the library is effectively totally broken. So Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Some people really don't like panics. I think that if some fundamental invariant is violated, then a panic is probably the correct call. So I'm gonna panic. A fundamental kernel invariant is broken. Fundamental request invariant is broken. And we can't do anything, provide anything of use to the caller. Link info messages for request index %d name %q. So our index, our name, we'll just provide more information to the caller at least. There we go. Yeah, it's kind of funny because I guess now I've streamed 3 days in a row because we hung out with Large Databank on Friday, and then yesterday we did this. Now we're doing more of this. I don't know if I'll stream this week, like during the week. Like streaming at night is can be pretty tiring and stuff. We'll see. After a long day at work, the last thing I usually want to do is sit on a computer, you know. Got some good coverage now. Feeling pretty good about this. We can factor out this for sure. So, check index. Check index. Check index. And check index. There we go. So for enodev or eop not supported, we return OS error not exist. That's good. In Kernighan's Go book, there are lots of format printf, standard error foo. Format f printf. Oh, is that just because is that because he wasn't sure about, or he didn't know about like print line or something, or printf? I mean, yeah, you could f printf, I think, but I see no one writes to OS standard error. So the log package writes to standard error by default. So I usually use the log package. Log package goes to standard error. Stuff you go to standard out would usually be like machine readable output. So things like, JSON or whatever else, or curl output. So I'm not sure why Kernighan would do that. Maybe just for like lightweight logging. What's the daily coffee count? I had I had cold brew this morning and then a Chemex. Like I think let's see. I have like the medium sized Chemex, so I think I probably had 2 cups of coffee. So I think I'm at 3 today, and I'm feeling pretty good. I know yesterday it was like 5:45, and I'm like, I kind of want some more coffee, and I'm glad I didn't, but especially today, it's a weekday, so I need to be careful. Or tomorrow's a weekday. Cool. This looks pretty good. Buzz in, yeah, totally. Libraries should not log directly, but I guess your examples are CLI programs. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, libraries shouldn't log. If your library needs logs, you need to pass like a log logger or something to it and allow the caller to configure that, because it is dreadfully annoying when libraries log to standard out or standard error. So that's why stuff like, glog or the Kubernetes logger and stuff, like those are all just, you shouldn't, frankly, I don't think you should use those. Like they're too heavyweight. Too heavyweight, too much global states, too many configuration knobs. Like my personal opinion is you should log to standard error, machine readable output to standard error, human readable to standard, or machine readable output to standard out for piping, human logs and stuff to standard error, and then you use some tool like systemd or whatever else to like capture that output. Like your program shouldn't have to care about like sending its logs to some remote system. Like let systemd or whatever else do that job. Or stuff like log rotation, like don't do that in your programs. There's no point. That's what init systems are for. Well, gang, I think we are ready for our first commit. Actually, this is looking solid to me. I'm gonna run a couple of, let's see here. So vet, static check, I care about lint. Some people don't. Yeah. So lint. Yeah. Okay. This is looking pretty good. We've got a package doc already. Control the ethtool interface. Let's take a look at all the files really quick. We're not going to commit this. We're not going to commit the command, but so the tests, GE netlink GNL test, MD layer netlink, yeah. Link info, empty link info, yeah, that's fine. Client link infos, empty response. Check the flags, check the message, look for an empty header. Yeah, that's right. Bytes. This one we check for some invalid inputs, invalid input, as well as a request which produces no such device. Let's see here. I feel like I should, hang on a sec. I should note that more in the code over here if I haven't already. Where are we at? So if the query device is not supported by ethtool APIs, eop not sup, or does not exist at all, dev. So we actually provide both, and then we need to document that now too, I think. What's up, Beck? Hey, what's up, Lithium? How you doing? If the request device does not exist or is not supported by the ethtool interface and error compatible, yeah. So we combine those two different conditions. So the we combine the, what do you call it? Device not supported and device doesn't exist into one OS error not exist. You're doing great. You were struggling getting port audio to compile in Windows. Yeah, I heard about that. Or yeah, you were talking about that. But I found a blog post with a Docker image. Nice. Excuse me. It's like a Windows Docker image that helps you like compile it or something. A client can manipulate the ethtool netlink interface. Operating system specific client. Lowercase c, new client, create a client. Link info. Link settings for an Ethernet link. Ethernet interface. We already Go generated, so that should be up to date. It is a Linux Docker image that uses some cross-system compiler called msys2. Oh, nice, cool. I know that, like, cross compilers and stuff are like a thing, but frankly, I have such little experience with like C, especially outside of Linux. Like, I just have I have no idea, The ethtool netlink interface request header, which is used to identify the interface, an interface being queried by its index and/or name. Callers may choose to set either interface index, interface name. Is it set either index name, let's in this case, name, or both fields. Note that if both are set, the kernel will verify that both the index and name are associated with the same interface. If they are not, an error will be returned. This is something callers can actually count on with this library, is that it will enforce that invariant for you. Fetches link infrastructures for each ethtool supported interface on this system. So these are all the interfaces that are supported. And then this fetches link info for the interface specified by the request header. In the request, the caller must set the index, name, or both fields. If the requested device does not exist or is not supported by the ethtool interface, an error compatible with errors is, ONS error not exist, will be returned. Nice. And then close cleans of the client's resources. Yep, those docs look good to me. Let's see here. Extended acknowledgements, yeah, that's something we still got to look at. Execute, specified command with additional header flags and input netlink request attributes. Yep. The request header is already set, automatically set. Index 0 empty name means fetch everything. Yep. The caller has to specify some identifier. Yes, that's true. Oh yeah, so speaking of C, I'm following this great account at Twitter. Things Kate did. Apparently she works for Fastly too. Not much info. Yeah, Kate is Kate's awesome. Do you happen to know her? I know her like in passing pretty much. Like we've only had a couple of conversations, but she does some really interesting stuff. Do we have? Hang on a sec. Is this open source? Yes, it is. This is extremely cool. So this libfsm, this compiles regular expressions to a finite state machine, and I think we use this like all over at Fastly actually. So this is an extremely cool thing, and this is far beyond my mortal comprehension. But definitely recommend checking this out. And then yeah, Kate's Twitter account is amazing too. About a single link, the client happens to pass incompatible, non-zero. The kernel will return an error. Yep. ethtool APIs or does not exist. Enforce the contract. Yep. Okay, link info, still going. Make this potentially faster. Yeah. I feel like I'm not going to do this. This is one of those things where it's like you write the to-do and you're like, I'm probably not going to do it. But want to both be non-zero. Otherwise, we leave the header empty to dump all the links. Yep, that's true. We should not send netlink acknowledge. We get an extra message flag from the kernel, which doesn't seem useful as of now. The caller will specify the exact flags they need depending on whether or not this is a request for one link or all links. Yep, that's true. That's not that useful, so we'll remove that for now. Slice and generic netlink messages, no Ethernet devices. I feel like this special case isn't strictly necessary. Like, I could just even remove this. The tests still pass? They do. Yeah, I feel like that's like not strictly necessary. Like it's just it's a small like optimization. Instead of allocating an empty slice, you allocate and you return nil. Return nil, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Like the thing is that for our purposes, if you're going to be arranging over this, which is almost certainly what you're going to do, the slice being nil versus allocated with capacity and length 0 are effectively the same. So we're going to allocate a slice header here, but whatever. So we decode each data from the message. We don't actually inspect the messages at all, but we don't really care. I mean, we could, but it's just more work. For each link info, we parse the header and the port. Yeah, we're gonna parse more attributes as well, but I want to commit this at this point. This is the function that returns an attribute decoder function. I'm gonna tighten this up just a little bit. Shoot. Rename AD. And rename AD. So but the convention I usually use is AD for attribute decoder and then NAD for nested attribute decoder. And sometimes you'll have the nested like NNAD. But generally, if it's in like its own scope like this, I find it easier to leave it alone. Actually, we can just not name that. Okay, so you can parse out the index and the name, as well as the port at the moment. And the port is something we're generating a string for. This loop will stop if there's an error or some attribute that does not parse correctly, and then we'll return the error there. So that's fine. And then we have panic F. Yeah, this is looking good to me. Let's make sure the Go OS, for example, Darwin still builds. Yep. Does it test? There's no tests. Yeah. Okay. Port type values. We copied these out of the C header, because we need some platform independent way to expose these. Contains link settings for an Ethernet interface. Link info. Yep. Request header is used to identify an interface. We already looked at this. Callers may choose to set either the index name or both fields. Note that if both are set, the kernel will verify that both index and name. What about ARM64 though? In what context for ARM64? You mean like do you mean like ARM64 like Linux? Because the xsys stuff handles that for us. So for example, if I do go arch ARM64, I don't think it's actually going to run, but it should build at least. Yeah. So it builds just fine because, like, for example, the xsys stuff, if there happen to be any differences in the architectures, it shouldn't matter. I mean, either way, so go arch equals ARM64, yeah, go Darwin, shouldn't matter. Yeah. So, like, as long as it builds, like, it doesn't have to actually work. It's just that it'll report an error. For example, here it will say, ethtool, this library is not supported on Darwin ARM64. And that's all we need. That's all we care about. So in this particular case, stuff like the M1 Max don't matter at all for us. Caller must have the index name or both fields. The request header. I guess I'm going to remove that because otherwise we're going to duplicate this a lot. So If the requested device does not exist or is not supported by the ethtool interface, close. Yeah. Documentation, go mod. I'll do a quick upgrade. Really, apt install and the ARM64 Linux binary will work well. Probably not. Really? You got me curious, I'll admit. Is this going to work? How do I not have QEMU installed on this? I've definitely used it before. Maybe not since I reinstalled with 2004, but so you think this will, you doubt it will convert the NL. Netlink? ARM64 go build. Oh. Oops. Go Arch. Oh. Failed to open client socket E inval. Interesting. Yeah, so there's something wrong with my netlink library with this cross compilation or whatever. But beats me. Anyway, I'm sure it works. Like I'm sure the Xsys does the right things, but that's interesting. Go mod tidy. Okay, I believe we are ready to ship this. 2021 readme done. Ship it. Okay. Do not edit. Yep, got it. Star.go. Yeah, GitHub. Commands. I don't even remember what Nightbot commands I have. I think just the basics, really. Yeah, APU, Corrad, Flydeck. Yeah, get rid of that. Go, networking, project, setup, Slack. Oh, I forgot I had Slack. Yeah. I don't use Nightbot a whole lot for stuff, mostly just like the project and social commands, but... All right, first pass at client link info. Link infos. Force push. And I believe we are good to commit this at this point, which is exciting. Very exciting. So I can mark this as not draft and then squash and merge. Hashtag ship it. Yeah, exactly, Craig James Wiley. Yeah, as soon as the CI passes, I'll squash and merge. And then we have the first workable version of this library, which is great. I mean, it fetches, all 3 fields right now, so it's useless, but we have a good framework in place for things that will help us. Who else is watching this? Our pair. Okay, beats me. Hey, I thought I said I wanted 100 stars on this. I'm curious if the macOS build will... This will probably take a little bit. Oh, that's pretty quick. Git version. It's pretty cool that the Mac and the Windows stuff is so seamless too. I just want to make sure this doesn't like totally bork somebody's machine if they're using it without build tags. That's really all I care about. Go test dash race. All right, I need to grab some more water. I'll be right back. We'll let the test run. Actually, I'm going to run to the bathroom and stuff too, so I'll do the AFK screen. BRB. Okay, I'm back. Burp. Yeah, it's pretty often. It's pretty funny how often I say BRB like in real life. That's one of those things where, you start saying it without really thinking about it. Like I say YOLO all the time. I say BRB. I say totes adorbs. I say it's lit. Like all these little things that like I pick up as a total joke. I start using them on a regular basis, and it kind of sticks. Yeah, really quite adorbs. I love my little Go community here. Yeah, this is great. Yeah, I really wanna keep getting more folks on board with like streaming and hanging out and supporting each other. Yes, this works. So let's squash and merge. And ship it. So now we have the first working version of this package at all, which is great. Let's see here. This is going to have to refresh with the Go mod stuff, so it'll take a little bit. But yeah, this should work now. And in a little bit here, we'll have docs, which show you the client. You can open a client and use it to query information about just a couple of links now. But of course, there's a lot more we're going to need to do. So this interface is really quite big. We've implemented one call, and there are all of these calls. So these are all things that we can do. What's a string set? String sets are not user writable. Is this just like stuff that the device, like the device is like hard coded stuff in like the driver or something? Interesting. Anyway, yeah, there's stuff like wake on land state. We're gonna want to get that debug for the debugging settings. Let's see here. Yeah, see, the only Go guy at work asking questions and getting answers is just invaluable for me. Priceless. Yeah, totally. I'm always happy to answer questions and stuff. You know, like the thing is that I've been doing this for a while, and I find that sometimes it is good for me to realize that some of the knowledge I have, you know, like I take for granted. And, you know, when it comes to Go or networking or coffee or beer or whiskey, you know, I'm happy to share knowledge. And it's good for me to have to break down some of what I'm talking about too. Oh, you can start a cable test. That's sick. This will be good. So, like, if we build, like, this monitoring daemon, we can actually have it, like, test the cables on a regular basis. I wonder if this messes with things. Like, I wonder if this would mess with the, what do you call it? Huh. You can get the cable length? Wow. PogChamp. That's so sick. Yeah, we're gonna have a really good time playing with this. Features. Device hardware features, device wanted features. PogChamp. Oh, that's the one for today. Nice. We gotta get MD layer Pog someday. I need to get a green screen, then we can do like screen caps of my face and stuff. But you know, I wonder if the Elgato green screen, it'd be useful once in a while. I wouldn't mind buying one. That's just that I was waiting. Let's see here, Elgato green screen. Green screens are less popular. So the Elgato one 170 for the collapsible. This is kind of what I wanted. Like this looks like it'd be pretty nice for my room. They used to be really popular. Yeah, no, so I guess like what I mean is like I would not use a green screen probably for coding. I mean, I guess I could, but like for stuff like games or whatever, it'd be kind of nice. I mean, I guess in theory I could use a green screen for coding and just get rid of this box and just have my head, you know, like the top of my body, but I don't know. I don't think you all are that bothered by my stream setup. Nobody's complained, you know. You have to get good lighting. I mean, I've got the key light, so I think I'm probably okay. Green screens are bootstrap. I think it's nothing I need, but it's something I have like a mild interest in buying, you know. So maybe worth investing in. Green screen means you can hack into the matrix. You think this is much better with like the little frame in the corner? Yeah, it's probably fine either way. Like I can make it smaller, even though I can make it like thinner, but I like having the little bit of room because I can do stuff like when I'm standing, I can move around a little bit. Speaking of which, let's do that. Woo! The old standing desk thing. I gotta grab my standing desk mat, which I might have to put my headphones off for. There we go. OMG the tech. Yeah. Standing desk is a good investment for sure. It's nice, especially for like, you know, meetings and stuff. If you're like tired, you can stand up and move around a little bit and like whatever else. I just try not to be too distracting or, you know, yeah. So, Distributed Systems Fanboy, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. I find it very funny how the alerts pop up in my frame over here too. I need to fix that, but I keep forgetting. I do want to do the wake on LAN, and then the link modes, and then the link state. Link modes. Yeah, this is something good. Duplex, master slave port modes, link speed. These are all things I want. So link modes we could do. Actually, we need to fetch more information here. We have the physical address, TP, the MDIX. I forget exactly what these are. I mean, maybe we'll leave these alone for now. We can always add whatever. Adding attributes is really easy. So let's do the link modes. That sounds curious. Link modes, supported, advertised, and peer advertised related information. Oh, so you can see what modes the link peer is advertising. That's pretty cool. You need to fix the cabling to allow me to do my standing desk again. Yeah, I have like cable like harnesses. Like I bought a whole bunch of Velcro ties, and I've got like big cable harnesses going underneath the desk. Like I've got like a power one, I've got video, I've got like, you know, audio. It's not as clean as I would like, but it works pretty well. Yeah, so now we can start plumbing in different stuff. So let's do this link mode. That sounds fun. Link info request. So this is going to be link modes as provided by ethtool. Does not use any attributes. So we can have the kernel reply with messages for all devices. It's the same thing. So we can do link modes and then yeah, we can just do info modes. Yeah, I already want to put these with the structures that actually use them. So link info, and then type link mode. Type link mode struct. So what comes in a link mode? We have things like the header auto negotiation, U8, bit set. Yeah, so we're just gonna, well, for the time being, we'll do empty struct, but we're gonna add a lot more to this, of course. So link modes, okay. More or less the same idea. Like we're gonna copy a lot of the same stuff. Parse link info header. Sometimes I will. My usual thing is put all the methods and then the functions down below. So I'll probably do like this. Link modes. Oh, shoot. Too many multi-cursor. Link modes. Fetches information about modes for all ethtool supported links. Link mode. Modes for all links. And then it's the same idea pretty much. We can actually probably deduplicate even further by having this request attribute thing and then like duplicate or deduplicating out the what do you call it? I'll just explain what I mean here. I'll just write it really quick. So this structure, oh shit. No, actually no, that's still fine. We can return GE netlink messages. Okay. This is going to be we'll call this get. So this is going to take a header. It's going to take a header value, the header attribute, the command you're running. Oh boy. The command, the flags. So header uint16, command uint8, right? Flags, index, name. Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a thing. Make this a multi-line really quick. Once you get like, 4 or 5 parameters, I like to multi-line it. So this is going to be the header type. And then we specify the device index and device name optionally if either of them are set. I guess we could just take a request here and actually take one less parameter too. Right? So like we can do our request. Our index, and then our name. Yep. Let's see here. Return C execute. This is going to return a slice of GE netlink messages. Why won't that compile? Watch. Unexpected new line. Oh, I forgot the comma. Okay, there we go. So we return the C execute. So our index, our name. So this is going to set up the appropriate attributes and then call execute. And now we call... So for... We'll get to link modes in a sec, but let's fix what we already have. So these are both going to call get, and it's going to need to unpack the... What do you call it? Link info could get, and then just unpack the link info structures, right? So... We need a function called link info. This just has an empty request body. That's fine. Link info takes a request and flags. So netlink header flags. And then a request, and it returns a slice. And then we call, let's see here, so messages error c get Unix. That would be we already lost it. That was whatever constant that we had there to begin with. Where is it? This one. ethtool link info header. Get Unix, and then the ethtool command get right here. Message link info get. Fair amount of abstraction here. I'm gonna multi-line this as well because it's gonna get pretty long otherwise. I'm pretty picky about long lines because I like being able to have multiple panes of code open side by side, and as soon as you get much beyond like the 80 character mark, like you can no longer have 4 panes of code on a 4K monitor. I know, right? Such privilege. Pretty funny. If error, nil error, it's fine. Return nil? No. Return parse link info from the messages. Yep. Okay. Oh, the flags, right? I got to specify the flags as well. Yep, okay. So link modes, we're still hiding away for now. We're just doing a bit of refactoring first. Okay, it passes again. That's good. So we take a look at the coverage really quick. So now we have link info, which translates the link info command to get. It runs the netlink query with a link info header, link info get, the flags, the requests, and then parses the link info structures back out and then passes them all back. So these functions become more simple. Dump all info. I don't think these comments are going to be necessary anymore. It should be pretty simple, actually. Okay, so now we can add link modes. This is going to be the exact same sort of thing. Cancel. Link modes, yep. This is going to be the same sort of abstraction. So we're going to make a link modes function, which is going to do this exact same thing. Link modes will return. This could potentially. So I guess potentially this could be the use case. A use case for generics, right? Is like you could have a function here that returns a slice of t, and then we actually can pass, link modes or link type or whatever the hell else. And this could potentially return. This parse function could return something generic, but it's not really necessary. I mean, it's a little annoying to have all these little things, but so link modes header, message link modes get, parse link modes. So you gotta have a little bit of duplication in here, but we will survive. Parse info. Let's see here. Info. All become modes. Parse link mode structures. I screwed that up. LM. Modes header. Actually, is this going to be... Yeah, this is going to be the same thing, right? It's going to be the ethtool header. So this is just the parsed ethtool. Huh. Well, we can have this return. We can cheat this a little bit, but we'll deduplicate this in a sec. I just want to get something working here. So parse, yeah, link mode. Because these are all going to have the header, so every time you query for a link, you'll get back the interface index and such too. So info. Oh. Mode. LM. LM. We will dedupe this. Parse link mode header, ethtool A. This don't have a port. Yep. LM. LMs. Okay. Client Linux, LM index undefined 263. Yeah, link modes doesn't have. I think it's gonna have the same fields. It's gonna have index and name. We'll verify this just in case, but I'm pretty sure, I'm almost positive it will. And now what we can do here is run a default here and see what kind of netlink attributes it's giving us, right? So printf %d %v ad type ad bytes. Okay. Now we want to run our test program and try and fetch the link modes. Modes. The variable names are fine for now. Go run. Yep, there we go. 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a bunch of attributes in here. Yeah, so it gives the same header back. It looks like they both have the same header where they return the index and the name no matter what. So we can dedupe that call. So this is going to need to decode for the header for everything. So probably what we want here is a function that returns a... I know exactly how to do this. Check this out. So we're going to get rid of the parse link info header, wherever that went. Watch this. So parse header decodes information from a response header into the input values, right? So instead of passing a struct here, we will pass a pointer to an index and a pointer to a name. And now the index we populate and the name we populate. So now this call becomes parse header, lm index, lm name. And now we can use this for both places. Li index, li name. Pointers. There you go. Memory, pointers, knowing the memory model and stuff helps, right? So we can pass two different types of structures here and just pass the individual fields addresses of the fields within the struct rather than the struct itself, which makes things easy. So deduplicate everything. So in this case, it's a link info header, but in this case, the other case, it's going to be a link modes header. Even though they're the same header, it is what it is, I guess. So let's look at, auto negotiation status. That's probably going to be an enum. Link modes, hours, and then, let's look at the speed. This is going to be an easy thing. Like I can look at the 10 gig NIC on my system and know immediately which one it is. Unix, this is a uint32. Yeah. AD, so link mode, speed. I think I might do like speed megabits. Like the thing is like if you have like a number that says like 1,000, like you're like, what's the unit on this, right? And I love how Go, for example, has the time types, like 1 times time dot second. Like I wish there was like a bytes type, like 1,000 times time dot or times byte dot megabyte or something. Unit dot megabyte. So I think we'll probably just call this speed megabit. Speed mbits, speed mbs, speed megabits per second. Speed megabits. Probably spell it out for now. uint32. Yep. So now the link mode needs a speed in megabits. And then it becomes unambiguous as to what the intent is here, which is good. Coerce to an int. Okay. Why are we still on the branch? Oops. Stash. It's stash pop. Okay. Delete my old branches. Attribute 5 is not a uint32. This says it should be a uint32. Spew dump 80 bytes. It's a UN8. Why is that a UN8? ethtool A link modes speed. Kernel response what the hello? It says it should be a U32 in the docs, but we're getting a UN8 for some reason. Is link mode speed wrong? Is that constant wrong for some reason? It says 5. Header auto negotiate hours peer speed. Header auto negotiate hours peer speed. Yeah, that makes sense. But it's not a U32. Let's try UN8 and just see what's going on with this, but that doesn't seem right to me. Speed megabits 3. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Are we passing? This might be kernel source splunking time, unfortunately. I don't understand this value. Link mode speed. Is there anything I'm obviously doing amiss here, like using the wrong attribute decoder? No, not as far as I can tell. Nope. Parse header. Index name. Device index, device name. Return nil. So... yeah, let's go back to the default case. I'm just very curious here. Spew dump 80 type 80 bytes, the raw bytes. These are all UN8s, but why? It says it should be a U32, and it looks like there should be some bit sets in here too, although maybe bit set is... okay. Is this just wrong? I mean, that doesn't make sense to me, so let's start splunking the kernel, I guess. Bootlin... right? Yeah, okay. Link mode speed is referenced here. Okay. Link modes, speed. That says UN32. And LA put U32, yeah. Speed. Oh boy. NLA U32. ETH NL update U32. Boy. I don't know if I'm ready for kernel splunking today. NLA U32, yeah. I mean, that doesn't seem right. I feel like we're passing the wrong request somewhere. Like, I feel like this can't be right. Parse link modes. You know what? Hang on. Are we doing... no. Link modes, link modes, link modes. Okay. Dump request. Link modes header, link modes get. Yes, we're passing the right... I feel like we're getting this crossed with the link info somewhere. So let's start from the beginning. Let's close everything. Start from the beginning. So we have a link mode structure. We have a link modes client. Returns a slice of link mode structures. This calls the underlying client, which has a link modes method. So we look at the underlying client, lowercase c client on Linux, link modes. This specifies a link modes method here, which passes the dump flag and an empty request. That's what I'd expect. Link modes takes header flags. So dump and request in this case. We're looking for a link modes header, message link modes get. So those both look correct to me. And then the output messages we get from that, let's see here. Device index, the header type is specified by the caller. So the header is this link modes header. And then link modes get is the command. Ah, that's what it is. See, we had a hard-coded command. Watch this work now. There we go. Okay. That was the problem. We were hard coding for the link info instead of link modes. So Sometimes you really just need to like go back and like look and really look closely because so many things worked because these all return the same header, but we ran into an issue here, of course. So what a pain in the ass. Link modes, speed, right? And now this is actually a U32. So we'll go ahead and hide that for now. Okay, there we go. 1,000, 10,000. Wow, max UInt32 it looks like. So some of these just don't have a speed that makes sense. And then 10 megabit for the virtual bridge. Okay. Anyway, that works. So what else can we... What a pain in the ass, right? Auto negotiation hours peer. Okay, let's look at the... I want to look at these modes. I'm curious about this. A link modes peer is the reply, and the reply is a bit list. What does that mean? So we got the speed. Unix. So this says it's a bit set. I don't know what that means, though, in this context. There's like some strings in here. Are these nested attributes? They might be. ethtool. This looks suspiciously like netlink attributes to me. I'm gonna try a nested decoder really quick. Ad nested. Nested. It's kind of funny because I've stared at these long enough where you see like 800,200 and it's like, okay, length 8, type 2, whatever. And it's like, okay, this might just be... Yeah, because netlink attributes are LTV, length, and then type. Yeah, so this could be nested attributes. Let me just take a look. It says bit set. I don't understand what that means though, because that, for example, this big one, I see strings and stuff in here, which would seem to imply it's nested netlink attributes. Next. Log.printf. Nested. %d, %v. Type. Bytes. Okay. Yeah, these are nested netlink attributes, it looks like. 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. Yeah, why? Why does it say bit set if it's nested netlink attributes? That doesn't really make sense to me. Advertise link modes, partner link modes. Compact bit set. Oh, here we go. So I think we might need to read this again. So for short bit maps of a fixed length, NLA bitfield 32 type for arbitrary length, uses a nested attribute with contents of one of two forms. Compact, 2 binary bitmaps representing bit values and mask, and bit by bit list of bits identified by either index or name. So we could tell the kernel to give us a smaller response here. Is that what I'm understanding out of this? I still haven't read into this. This is probably something I'm going to have to like dig into a little bit off stream. I don't really want to figure out this compact format and everything right now, but let's see here. Bit set. So I could tell it, I could try and set this flag and just see what happens, like see what kind of differences I get here, you know? I'm just curious, so. Parsing the link modes. NAE, UInt32, Unix, ethtool, a header flags. How does this change things? I suspect it's going to make it so it's no longer nested attributes, if I had to guess. It still is. It's just much smaller. Huh. So we're going to have to figure this out, but it looks like this gives us the data in a more compact representation. Probably instead of raw strings, it will give us the some kind of like enum values here that we can look up with kernel constants. That's an interesting thing. So we're going to want to figure out if we want the compact format or not. Presumably it carries the same information, so it's probably more efficient to do it this way. But two binary bitmaps representing bit values in the mask. The number of significant bits, the bitmap. Ugh. This is a thing. I mean, honestly, I probably could just implement the nested netlink attributes for now and call it good and leave it up. This is like an optimization once we get tests and stuff, but I don't know if I want to deal with this right now. Like I said, I feel like I need to like kind of do some research on my own before I just get dragged into this too far. But so yeah, let's take a look at the. So there's the bit set stuff in here. Update bit set. Bool compact to flags contains a compact bit set. Yeah. It's really that's a thing apparently. Okay, we're gonna leave that alone for now, but we're gonna make a to-do to investigate the compact formats as well. Yeah, see, this is a lot more information, of course. 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. What are 2 and 3? So the link modes, right? So there must be some constants related to link modes or link mode. Link mode. What do you call it? Link modes are advertised link modes. So link modes, link modes, link modes. Excuse me. I'm guessing these are in ethtool, probably. The constants and stuff, because the constants are 2 and 3. But I don't know what those constants would be like symbolically. So we've got what looks like a uint32 and then an empty, like a flag. So sometimes netlink will use these empty things as like a flag attribute. So some of these, it looks like the real NICs. Yeah, my 10 gig NICs has 10,000 base T, full, pause, fiber, 10 base T, half, 10 base T, full. So these are the different modes it supports. I'm guessing these are probably more nested netlink attributes within 3. So 2 looks like a uint32, and then 3 looks like more nested attributes. So I guess let's dive in a little bit more, huh? So for now, netad, we'll switch. Do it again, right? Nested. Now we are currently at 3 levels of nesting. It's very fun for us. Stuff I get myself into, huh, chat? Spew dump. Gotta make sure we call the right decoder or else we're gonna get in trouble. So the type and then the bytes. Okay. Yeah, here we go. So we got more stuff going on. It looks like we've got even more. So type 1, and then these look like even more netlink attributes. This is nested like 4 levels deep. Yikes. Are we still spew dumping the top? Yeah, I don't want to dump this anymore. Yeah, so see here, we got each individual mode. It looks like type 1, and then more netlink attributes, I think. Good lord. Okay, we're doing this. We're going for it, right? This is a thing. This is code I am writing. I don't like it, but we are currently at the 3rd nested attribute decoder. Good lord. turn nil for nested this many levels deep. We're definitely gonna refactor this. This will not survive. I would never write code like this. I'm just trying to understand. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, fiber, pause. Those are strings. So we got strings, auto negotiation, the modes. Looks like. So 1 looks like a UN32, 2 is a string, and then 3 is a flag. 3 is empty. Yikes. Big yikes. Big yikes. It's a bit of a thing. So I'm guessing these are probably constants in ethtool or something. Like these 0as, this is 10, this is 12. I'm guessing these are probably an enum from ethtool. So if we do, for example, man, big yikes. Okay. Big yikes. Parse link modes. This is gonna be the address of ours, right? Probably. Nested link modes. Parse nested link modes is a function which takes a type. Our link modes. Advertise link modes. Type link modes is a struct. LMs, pointer to a link mode structure, which we're going to add to the top level link mode structure. So for example, ours is a pointer to a pointer? Yeah, no, link modes, something like this, yeah. So something like that, and then nested link modes. This is going to be a function with a compatible signature to the one above. Good lord. The one below. We're going to need to break this down even further because this is still insanity at the moment. That compact format is looking more and more appealing, huh? So we have an attribute decoder, to do MD layer, find the constants for these. So now we're top level. We remove one level of nesting. That's good. Yep. Yeah. So man, I don't even know what else is in here. Like, I guess for the time being, we could cheat a bit. If AD type not equals 3, continue, and just get rid of the switch statement. To do MD layer, find the symbolic constants for these, and also investigate the other attributes. So if it's not equal 3, we skip it, and then we have another one in here, and if it's not equal 1, we skip that. So if nested attribute type not equals 1. So we got 1, we got 2, we got 3 in here. So 1, D, so 10, these are hex something. So like we got 10, 12, 13, 14, 13. So maybe we do want to switch here. I'm not sure what these represent yet, though, is the problem. So case 1 is nested. No, actually, shoot, we already, if type not equals 1, continue. Get rid of the switch again. I think this will still work. Big yikes, huh? Okay, does this still work? Yes, it does. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 3 seems to mean nothing for some reason. It's just totally empty, but 2 is a string. So switch on the nested attribute decoders type. Case 2 is some kind of link mode string. And then 1 is a uint32. So case 1, format print line, AD uint32, print line, AD string. And we can just ignore 3 for now, and I'm not really sure why yet. But it's not a uint32, length 260. Attribute 3 is not a uint32. Did I mess up the nested? Hang on. Okay. Top level AD. Then we got the nested. Okay. Nested. Ah, yeah. That's why. Make that mistake a lot. Okay. Now we're starting to get 0, 1, 2, 3. Oh, this looks like an index. No, it skips up from 7 to 13, 10. Huh. Is this an array? This might be an array. 10 base T half. Yeah, this looks like a netlink array to me, actually. So I think only a couple of the devices here support this. So what we're doing actually, this uint32 is an index and is the array, I think. So there we go. There are the modes. This is getting strange. So what you'd probably have here is something like an array of strings, and then LMS modes equals append LMS modes with the current string. And then we can spew dump this to the top level, and we get the modes associated with each device. Yeah, so my 1 gig NIC supports these modes. Half full, 10, 100,000, auto negotiation, TP pause, fiber, 10,000 pause. I'm not sure what the meaning of the pause or stuff is in here. That's strange. And then virtual Docker support no modes. Okay. How weird. So I mean, this clearly works to some extent, but I still don't understand the format in here. So I guess we're still stuck looking at the kernel source, huh? Let's see here. LP advertising. This looks like ethtool link mode bit indices. What does that mean? I have no idea what that means. Ethtool link mode bit. Ah. Oh, yep. You're right. Yeah. Yes, you are right. Okay. Pause bits. Yeah. So these are So it looks like it gives you both the symbolic, the constant, or the integers, as well as just the strings. So I feel like I'm just gonna return the strings, but yeah, interesting. Link mode bit indices. Yeah. Yep. Storing both might be useful for something. Yeah, I think you're probably right, unfortunately, but I see what you're saying. Link modes. Let's see here. advertised link mode. So let's see here. So mode bit indices. So the index and the name of the mode, right? Index int, name string, for example. So pass in a link mode. Link modes. This is a bit of a thing, huh? Advertise link mode. So we pass in the slice now. A pointer to a slice of because we're gonna manipulate the slice directly here. So this is a pointer to the hour, for example, of advertise link mode. So case 1. So 1 is the one's the index, and then right. So advertised link mode, alm.index equals nested uint32. Yep. ALM name equals the string. Yep. And now we actually do need to check the error here. So if error error not equals nil, return error, and then ALMs equals append the current mode. Okay, so now we've got the index of the mode as well as the name of the mode. So the advertised mode's for us and the advertised mode for our peer. So we'll do the same thing. So this is, I tell you what, this is a good way to get brain fry right here, is writing this kind of stuff like link modes peer. Hours peer. Case Unix. Let's see here. I also need to figure out all these these constants, and figure out what they mean. So our peer is advertising to us nothing, apparently. At least not on my machines. Maybe my NICs aren't smart enough. Huh, okay. Yeah, so we need to figure out what these what these constants are. So first of all, the top level stuff, I want to figure out the AD type and AD bytes, right? Bytes. Two. So 2 and 3 K. Well, K doesn't mean anything. It's just I'm sure this is uint32 of some sort. But what does it mean? So the values are 2 and 3 for the link modes, 2 and 3. So let's take a look at the code again. The, what do you call it? ethtool. Yep, good call on the bit indices. That was a good idea. Boy, this is a bit of a thing. Link modes, hours, right? Features, rings, channels, coalesce, pause, TS info, cable tests, notify. This could be pretty damn cool. I feel like this library is going to be very much worth writing, but big yikes as far as like just the amount of nested attributes here. It's just it's daunting, right? I think that's really the whole thing with me, is I feel a little daunted right now. That's not that it's a bad thing, because it makes me get better, but link mode names, compact. So Ethan output bit set. Put bitset 32, compact, no compact. Do not compact things. Here we go. Bitset value. What does bitset value equals? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. If compact. Okay, we're not looking at compact at all. We're looking at these. Okay. Bitset, bit index, bit name. Okay, these might be what we're looking at here. Bit index, bit name. 1, 2, 3. Index name value. Okay. Index name value. Index name value. Flag. Yeah, that makes sense to me. So the index of the thing is 1. And the value, so we're skipping type equals 1. Yes, this is an array. This is an array. So we only want the index name value. So let's 2 index name value. So the name of these is that name doesn't make any sense though. K as a string doesn't make any sense. So this constant I think is bit value. So we just want the value here. We don't care about the index for the name. Apparently the other one we're getting here is the name, but this doesn't make any sense to me as like a string. This is the index, so hang on a sec. Let's dump this one too. Shoot. You know, what's kind of funny is I've been using this trackball for a while, and it's starting to wear. Like actually, like the finish on it is like starting to wear. And I bought another one because I was afraid that my old one was going out. But I managed to clean it up a little bit, so it's doing pretty good. But yeah, pretty fun stuff. Okay, there's nothing else being advertised here, just the name or the index. Index name value. This is let's see here. Tribe GVNG, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. We are deep in the netlink weeds at the moment. I've never seen this before. I'm having a pretty good time, but it's becoming daunting, you know. Index. This is an array. Begin iterating the indices of the array. Array. Okay. So we only care about the values, but there's also the name in here, which is super weird. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3. So index name, and there's a flag. I don't understand the purpose of the flag though. Like I've seen netlink flags before. Florian introduced me to them, but I don't understand the purpose of the flag in this particular case. Name. But what is the flag for? Case. Flag. Flag is a U32 mask. So the other thing I've seen before is I have seen index name value bit flag. Oh, the flag isn't in here at all. Index name. Hang on a sec. Index name value. Index name value. So the value, it's not value, it's flag value. Okay. Bit value. Value, 80 bytes. It looked like it was empty though, I think. No. Didn't we just parsed all that though? Oh shoot, I'm looking at the wrong decoder again. Always do that, man. Yeah, see, these are empty. Like that doesn't. I don't understand the. It's just empty slices. So why would there be a U32 all empty for all of these things? That doesn't really make sense to me. I'm sure this is gonna be 0, but yeah, that seems odd to me. To do empty layer. It appears these could be uint32 values for some nicks, but they are all empty slices on my machine. If mask is null, simple bitmap is created. If at mask is provided, oh, it's okay. Represent a value mask pair. Huh. Yeah, I don't have the mental capacity to process all the magic here right now. We can definitely do the compact format eventually, but for now we're gonna do this because it just works and it's easy. Um, you know. I think I'm gonna factor out this block too. Parse advertised link mode. Hey, what's up, JV Pratt? We are doing a thing right now. That is for sure. Parse nested advertised link mode. I'm having a real hard time. Hey, Wakanda Bear, what's up? Yeah, we're doing a thing. This is hard. Funk parse nested. We're like 4 levels of netlink attributes nested deep right now, and this is the not compact representation. Apparently, there's a much faster one, but we're not using it at the moment. Or there's a smaller one, but we're not using it. But yeah, this is a bit of a thing, and I'm having a good time, but just attribute decoder. I feel like I'm due for like a part 4 of my netlink blog series or something where I talk about something crazy, like all the crazy stuff I've learned. So this can now just be AD. You can simplify it. Yeah, there we go. Typically, we would allow the parent decoders to deal with errors, but we don't want to append to the output slice if any errors occur parsing the advertised modes. Okay. So we have like 2 nested arrays here that don't seem to contain any useful information for us. I'm not sure. Parse advertised link modes. Begin iterating the outer netlink array, and then begin iterating the. Hey Frank, what's going on? Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Oh, yeah, I already got tribe. Cool. Begin iterating the inner netlink array by its indices. Outer netlink array by its values, by its indices. Yeah, I don't understand why they would some of this stuff, but the flag looks to mark if the link is supported. Maybe these attributes are used somewhere else in ethtool netlink. Yeah, I guess it's possible, but I don't understand like why it would just be an empty slice or something. But because the thing is that the kernel's not returning any information about like loopback for is it? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. This is some pretty heavy duty parsing code. It's kind of nice because like with this nested API and stuff and like these closures, you can make this pretty elegant. Passing in the address of something and then continuing to pass that down. Hey, Foreign Dot, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. You can continue to like kind of pass things down as you go on, but it's a bit of a doozy for sure. Well, we've got the speed in megabits, we've got the link capabilities. You don't think loopback pretends to be an Ethernet device? Yeah, no, I don't think loopback's in here at all, is what I mean. Like, I think it's just the devices that have modes that are supported, right? And some of these devices just don't have modes at all. So basically, this whole thing could potentially go away. To do MD layer. Let's see here. All of this nested attribute parsing for advertised link modes could potentially go away if we support the compact format by passing the compact flag, right? I mean, probably the compact format is the correct way to do this, but we're cheating for now, Bit sets. Yeah, I'm gonna need to read through this, but equals the flag stats. No, flag compact bit sets. This is probably worth doing, but is more effort, right? Advertise link mode needs to go out to the main file. Let's see here. And advertised link mode is a link mode that an interface advertises it is capable of using. A link mode is the let's see here. Link mode contains link mode information for an Ethernet interface. Okay. Now, so we can also, for example, implement the other version. Oh my god, writing the test for this. Oh man, writing tests for this is going to be a thing, especially with all the nesting. Oh, good lord, my head hurts already. And shrink it just a little bit. Outsource testing to your users. Yeah, I wish. This page explains the nesting for these. Oh. Yeah, I think I just need to like actually take time and read this, but I don't want to like read this entire thing right now on stream. I think the problem is that like I can already tell my patience is like, or my yeah, I'm starting to diminish a little bit, So this is something I will read. But let's see here. Read this. This is something I want to do off stream. There's a good reason to always use the compact messages, notifications from ethtool netlink interface. Always use the compact form. Yeah, so we're going to have to support it anyway. So, because we are going to want notifications. That's fine. We can make it happen. Here's that back the way it was. I like that better. Not every day you pass around a pointer to a slice header. Sometimes you have no choice. I think this cleaned up pretty nice. It's just a decent amount of code having to navigate through all the nested netlink arrays and such. But it did clean up for sure, which is nice. Parse advertised link modes. Parses the non-compact format for nested attribute format for a slice of advertised link modes. Tommy Luco, hey ho, hey, how's it going? Hello there. We are in the weeds. My nest, let's see, parse nested parses the non-compact nested attribute format. Let's see here. For the inner fields of, for the individual fields of an advertised link mode into the input slice. My Go IP tables code was passing around pointers to things Go probably didn't really want me to pass pointers around for. Yeah, I mean, like, everything I'm doing is totally valid. You know, like passing a pointer to a slice header is valid. It's just not something you see every day. But in this particular case, it allows me to do things in a more compact way, so it's pretty nice. And without having to have nesting 6 levels deep everywhere. You know, that first function we wrote where the nesting was this deep on the page was pretty awful, you know, but... 4K monitor or GNOME-like WM setup? Yes, both actually. 4K display, and I'm using just GNOME standard Ubuntu stuff. I am lazy. I know you can do like more fancy yada yada whatever, but yeah, I'm using 4K displays, but I've got it scaled to 1080 for OBS, I think. So just 1080p. And I've got my text and everything like pretty big right now so people can read it well on stream. Let's see here. What's going on Twitter? Yeah, for the blind peeps, yeah. I mean, it's actually not that bad. Like I've gotten used to like typing in the bigger fonts and stuff, but I definitely like having, you know, my day-to-day work. I use small enough size where I can have like at least 3 or 4 panes side by side of code, which is nice. And my terminal's over on my vertical monitor over here, so I actually I've got a link so you can actually see like my entire setup if you're interested. Yeah, I should follow. There we go. Blind peeps, aka people who don't want to full screen a Twitch stream. Yeah, totally. Tommy Luco, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. And yeah, welcome to the stream. I could not use a keyboard like that. You do get used to it. I promise. So the Kinesis for me, Teal Beans, thank you for the follow as well. The Kinesis for me was my first adventure into ergonomic keyboards. I used to type on a DOS keyboard 4 and stuff, but I noticed that like just the wrist motions and stuff, like having to have my wrists more arched to type on a keyboard and stuff was not great. And I wanted to get serious about ergonomics because I used to have a problem with like RSI type stuff. And I still kind of do to an extent. Like right now, my middle finger is a little sore. But the Kinesis really helps with that. It takes the pressure off of like my wrists and stuff. It's much more ergonomic. I've got good like 90-degree angles now, especially with the standing desk. So all of that really does help. And the Kinesis did take me at least a couple of weeks to like not make mistakes constantly, and then probably a couple months to adjust. But now I can go between Kinesis and normal keyboards just fine. Would recommend if you ever want to consider something like ergonomic. If you want to take it really seriously, the Kinesis is a great choice. Nice setup, which almost cries for an X-Randor and using a WM. Yeah, I know. I could do like a tiling window manager and stuff. I'm sure I could. It's one of those things where like I used to experiment with that stuff. Like I was running Xmonad on my laptop and all those things. I just can't be bothered these days. Like I want to use my computer to get work done and not be tweaking configs for my window manager and stuff. And like I know that's probably kind of a lame excuse. I should try i3. I've been meaning to forever. But yeah, I've just become so accustomed to like the standard mouse and keyboard flow that like I don't mind using a mouse or, you know, the trackball in my case. You love the trackball? Yeah, me too. It is, the trackball is a good investment. You picked up the Keychron K1 V4, no ergonomics, all style. Yeah, I mean, I know there's lots of cool keyboards out there, but ergonomics are a must for me. So the reason I did the Kinesis actually is because I could return it if I really hated it. And, you know, you kind of want to the first like week, but you do get used to it. So Dominic is a firm believer that tiling is good for small screens, but not large screens. Yeah, I've got three 27-inch displays, and it's like, the entire day I have, I've got like, VS Code open right here, a couple of browser windows open here, and a big terminal open here. It's like I have 4 things open. Like I'm not actively having that many more windows. But yeah, it's just my personal preference, But like on a laptop, I find like, actually I don't even use the multiple workspaces. I don't even use this day to day at all. I have browser windows open or like code or like I have a browser over here. Like since I have 3 monitors, I find myself very rarely having to flip around. Yeah, usually the point is do the work once for like the window manager setup and stuff. Yeah, I'm sure. It's something I should try. I'm stuck in my ways, Taryn uses the tiling window manager for 2 4K screens. Nice. Use the tiling window manager on 2 5K 1610s. Nice. And you don't want to go back. I don't blame you. Dominic says my reasoning is actually the opposite. I do have tons of windows, but I want to place them freely and have them overlap. Ah, I see. Yeah, I always want my windows like maximized or either like half on the screen. Like I never have like empty space really. Except for my OBS setup, actually. I've got OBS up here, and I've got the multi-view, and then I've got a terminal and my pre-flight stuff down here. So it's like kind of like a fake tiling, but that's like one of the only times I don't have stuff maximized. My productivity during the first week with the Kinesis, I assume, was so bad. Yeah, I can imagine. I had the same thing, Overlapping windows. Having to move one to get to the other. Yeah, that would drive me crazy, too. Ditch Firefox for what they pulled off today. Think about using the Surf browser. I'm not familiar with what Firefox did today. What did they do? Oh, it's pretty dark. I should close my blinds and stuff. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, we're back. Mozilla yesterday or so about killing the free speech internet. Huh. Interesting. If you want overlapping windows, you can hold a button in your keyboard and drag a window somewhere. Yeah, we're allowed to use computers differently. A little bit of a debate here. Dominic asserting once he gets to power. Pretty funny. So you're saying Mozilla wants to kill the free speech of the internet, while still it shows the mindset. Meh is sort of an opinion piece in the blog section. Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, Mozilla is an influential company, but I don't know. I wouldn't take it too seriously. I mean, I haven't read it, but I wouldn't take it too seriously either, Gang, I don't think we're gonna write tests for this today. I don't see that happening, We're a little over 3 hours. I usually clock out pretty hard around the 4-hour mark. So probably what we might actually do is maybe do a little bit of just like chill out. I do want to try some whiskey, so I might get a glass of whiskey, might just hang out and talk tech or something for a little bit, but we'll do a little bit more on this. But it's like, as far as like writing tests for all this nest and stuff, like I don't see that happening. It's like 2 paragraphs as well. Whiskey, tech talk time. We need more than deplatforming, huh? Have any Irish whiskey? Yeah, actually, what's so funny is I'm going to be drinking Irish whiskey. I was talking about this earlier on stream, but Blue Spot whiskey. So a friend just poured me a 2-ounce sample of this, and I'm really excited to try it. And I've got it, and I wanted to drink this tonight because my store had a couple bottles, and I bought one for a friend. But apparently it's sold out now, so even if I really like this sample, I can't go buy one for myself. So what are you going to do? But I'll get to try it, so I'm going to drink this tonight, I think. I'm pretty excited, because I really like Red Spot, so I feel like Blue Spot, cask strength, aged in, bourbon, sherry, Portuguese, Madeira casks. Like, I feel like that's going to be awesome, So I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah, I think we'll probably, let's see, we'll plumb in the individual request as well, I think. And then, let's see here. Oh, you used to live in Cork. Oh, right on. I had a friend who lived in Cork for a couple of years as well. 30 minutes from Middleton, where Jameson is made. Nice. Yeah, my friend lives in Cork. He said there was an amazing whiskey bar that had tons and tons of American bourbon that's impossible to find here for like super cheap in Cork. I don't remember what it was called, but I really want to go there someday. I've never been. I have been to the UK. I've never been to Ireland. So you're now living in Waterford. Nice. Very cool. Going to copy the docs for this. Link mode, request. Yeah, and for good beer, try the Irish Sons. It's in Cork. Nice, good to know. Yeah, I'd love to go to Ireland. I want to go to Ireland. I want to go to Scotland real bad. I'm real into Scotch. Link mode fetches link mode data for the interface specified by the request header. If the requested device does not exist or is not supported, an error compatible will be returned. Yep. Okay. CC link mode R. Most people will tell you to try to go to the Franciscan well, but those people who recommend that don't have a clue. Gotcha. Link modes, same thing. Link info is the shared logic for client link info. Let's see here. This is effectively the same thing for link modes. Modes. Yeah, whiskey sounds pretty good. I haven't had dinner yet, so I might get a little lit, but I'll survive. Worth it. I had a night last night with a friend where we drank some Islay Scotch. Busted up my 30-year Kalila SMWS. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. But yeah, whiskey is a good way to it's a good way to spend all your money. That's for sure. I like it though. Link mode fetches information about single ethtool supported links modes. Mode. Hang on. Link mode. There we go. C link mode. Link info. Parse link info. Parse. Okay, so I think we're going to want to factor out this logic as well, the op not supported eno-dev stuff. So that should probably be part of execute, I guess. So link info or part of get maybe. Yeah, because presumably, yeah, not all of these will be, let's see here. So messages, error. Get is used for read-only requests, so return messages, no. Okay. So we can move that logic out, so that's good. I think I'm going to set up a new Gen 2 install now throughout the night. Have to work tomorrow, but who cares? Yeah, I know how that goes. But yeah, I remember the first time I did Gen 2 on like my 2009 laptop with like the NVIDIA hybrid SLI stuff. It was a total mess. What are you going to do? Oh, Craig's only ever had one kind of Irish whiskey, Jameson. Love to try some of the ones mentioned so far. Do you really get the nuances? Dude, yeah. So I've also got a bottle of Redbreast 12 cask strength, which is awesome too. Like Redbreast is really good. I bought a Redbreast 27 for a friend, which was like a $400 bottle. He wanted me to pick it up for him, so he paid me for it, but it was like, holy shit. But yeah, the 12-year cask strength is very good. I find Irish just has less character than, like, I'm really big into Islay Scotch, so I compare everything like that, you know. And I know it's not the same thing at all, and I shouldn't compare it, but I do. Whiskey doesn't really get me buzzed like beer. Isn't that the same? So, like, for me, like, you know, whiskey... Beer is like a pretty gradual like buzz. Whiskey is like I'm fine, then I'm like I'm lit. You know, it's like it's kind of like one of those. How much for? I think Redbreast cask strength was like 100 or maybe like $80 here. Maybe like $80 in Michigan. 80, $100. It's not the cheapest thing, but it's good. Redbreast 12-year cask strength. I'm sure their shelfie expression is also very good. The non-cask strength, but I forget exactly. Craig, I did not know you were still here. Thanks for hanging out, man. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Performs a read-only request to ethtool netlink and enforces some of the contracts regarding Less error not exist. Some of the API contracts. Let's see here. So this is if the client happens to pass an incompatible, yeah, that's a comment we can get rid of too, because that's going to be duplicated everywhere. So put this comment here. Note that if the client happens to pass an incompatible non-zero index name pair, the kernel will return an error and will immediately send that back. Yep. If you want a recommendation, Waterford whiskey, it's a bit tastier than Jameson. It's been a long time since I've had Jameson. There's one time during college where my boss had me try Jameson and I hated it, but I like whiskey a lot more now. I've never heard of Waterford. I'll have to look into it. Thank you for the recommendation. Yeah, I'm I'm more than the thing is like, I guess I'm pretty serious about whiskey, right? Like, I don't think I am that much, but like I really am. But I have friends who are so much worse that like by comparison, I don't seem like that bad. I have in a not insignificant number of bottles of whiskey, but I have friends who have me beat by 4 or 5x, so I think I'm probably okay. It's just pretty funny. Worse, yeah. Your brother is heavily invested into whiskey, also financially. He told me it's actually good. Good to know. I don't know if I've ever seen Waterford around here. It's possible that it gets distributed here, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I've got friends who are way worse than me. So suddenly I look pretty reasonable with my collection, even though, my college friends, for example, they might have 10 or 12 bottles. I've got a few more. Might be about whiskey time. I feel like we've compacted this away pretty well, but hang on a sec. Oh, did we ever get this? Hang on. Link mode. Did we ever get that working? The single one? Unexpected number of link mode. LMs. According to my brother-in-law who lives in LA, you might have to import it. Gotcha. I think we can probably move this into... Oh, shit. No, we can't because the damn... Well, we want to validate, so if the flags... If they're not dumping, we want to validate. So I think what I want to do here is this. So... Oh. Flags and netlink dump. Right? So if we mask it off and it's still 0, the caller it's not dumping multiple information, requesting to dump information for multiple interfaces and thus has to specify some identifier. Yeah, I think that's right. So we can actually get rid of the sanity check in both places now too. Continuing to simplify link info, get. Why did I move this in here? That's not where I want it to be. I want it to be in get, I think. Yeah. He asked me about getting him a couple bottles next time we fly over there. Yeah, it's kind of funny because I've like flown with whiskey like several times now. Like I have like a friend's suitcase and stuff, and like the TSA here in the United States always checks your bags and stuff like that. So it's something I'm pretty used to, but it feels like illegal, but it's not. Or there's one time where I visited my friend Craig here, and I brought home some whiskey we had opened, and I didn't realize you're not supposed to fly with open whiskey, so I just like sealed it up pretty good, and that worked out pretty well. One plane says try Talisker or Glen Elgin. Airstone's a bit cheaper and similar, but also Isle of Skye is probably a different location than what you have in mind. Isn't Talisker a Scotch? I think I've had Talisker a couple of times, but Yeah, I'm more experienced. I'm most experienced with Isla Scotch at this point, but I've also had a fair amount of like Speyside and stuff. But I've only had a couple of Irish. I've had Jameson, I've had Redbreast, and I've had like Red Spot. I'm about to try Blue Spot tonight. So, does this work? It still works. That's good. Link mode, ethtool request name enp4so. Try that. Sweet. And then if we give a mismatched index, the sanity check should fail. Index 100. Failed to get link info. Yep. EMP4SO index 3. Hey, sweet. This is working. This is working quite well, actually. I really like the way this is coming together. Colorado whiskey was pretty good too. Yeah, totally. The place in Fort Collins that Luke has, or the place we went to, is great. What did they had a rye whiskey that actually was really good, and I think Luke got a bottle of that, my brother. And I would like to try that again because especially younger rye whiskeys can still be really good. Oh, Talisker is a single malt. Yeah, I think it's a Scotch though, right? You have a small drop of single malt Macallan from 1997. Nice. I do like Macallan too. Mob Mountain, yeah, Mob Mountain, exactly. Yes, this is Go. Hey, how's it going, Koshiro? Yeah, this is Go. We are writing a thing to control the kernel's ethtool netlink interface. Scotch, indeed. Okay, yeah. It's kind of funny because like I know like whiskey in lots of places outside the United States just refers to what we call Scotch. Or single malt is often identified as like Scotch. I just wanted to clarify. But I've had a couple of Taliskers. It's a brand I would like to explore more. But it's been a little bit. Link info. So if I specify an empty request, actually, ethtool request, this shouldn't work. Yep. You're writing Python, Java, looking at whiskey, and watching a Go stream. Maybe I'm multitasking too much. Yeah, I understand that. I do this, like, I usually watch Twitch at work too, but mostly it's gaming streamers, but I would love to watch more programmers during work. I should look for more. Looking at my workspace, isn't it way uncomfortable to read the top of your vertical monitor because it's so high? I usually will have a TMUX split down the middle, so it's like the stuff that I'm looking at more is like halfway down, and the stuff I'm looking at on top is a lot less often. But it just depends. It is pretty high. I mean, I can look at it like at this angle, so like it's not that bad, but it is reasonably high, I could actually put my monitors all down just a little bit, but I did this angle because it makes these two pretty much perfect eye level. This is working quite well. And we've deduplicated so much code. I wonder how much this gets inlined. Like, not that it really matters, but I've got a lot of function calls in here. I suppose yours are way further back than mine. Yeah, I think I measured one time and it was like 28 inches or something. Like, I mean, yeah, it's about my arm's length away from me at a comfortable angle, and I think my arms are roughly a little less than 3 feet or something, but link info messages, link info header, link info get. I feel like with all this duplication, I'm afraid I'm gonna like typo again or forget to change something again. Link mode messages for request index. Yep. Link mode's header, link mode's get, parse link modes. And we have the get function, which if you're not dumping, you have to specify a request. If the client happens to pass an incompatible non-zero, the kernel will return an error and will immediately send it back. Yes, that's correct. Yeah, way less than ARM here. Gotcha. Got to take off the night. Enjoy your new whiskey. Yeah, we'll do. Thanks so much for hanging out. I appreciate that. Yeah, I will definitely enjoy the whiskey. That's something we need to do here. We're coming up on 3.5, so yeah. I'm basically looking this over one more time, and then I'm gonna like get the whiskey. It's about time, And I remove the check here, so this get function handles some of the request validation that we were previously doing, and now the execution error unpacking as well. Some Bushmills could be nice as well. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had Bushmills. The problem is, like we actually have a Irish whiskey bar where they're focused on Irish whiskey, I guess, here in town, but their selection is still not like huge or anything. Around here, bourbon really is like the big drink of choice. But since I got into Scotch and Japanese, especially, it's nice because you can actually find those on a shelf. Japanese, not so much, but Scotch and Irish you can usually find on a shelf, which is great. You know, I guess I should probably allocate these up front, shouldn't I? 0 len messages. Assuming each message is valid in the happy case, I should be doing this. And then same for link info. Because it's not like we're going to have a netlink message in here that, like, you know, either they'll all fail to parse and we allocated some capacity badly, oops, or, you know, we're going to allocate just enough capacity and then just fill the slice. So this makes more sense, probably. Index name, hours, peer, speed, megabits. Yeah. This is looking pretty good. And then I'm not thrilled with the way this came out, but this is the reality of the nested arrays and stuff. After turning 30 a few years ago, a bit bummed that I can't easily drink as much as I used to without affecting me the next day. Yeah, I get that. I'm 29 and I'm at the point where if I get much beyond like, you know, 2 drinks or something, it's like I gotta have like Pedialyte. Pedialyte powder is a game changer, by the way. I would actually really recommend if you haven't already, get some like Pedialyte powder and like, you know, go home and drink that before bed and you will feel better for sure. There's so many interesting tastes, notes, smells to experience. Yeah. I've gotten used to drinking, you know, like half-ounce pours of stuff just because I want to try lots and lots of things. But I think the Blue Spot's going to be my only whiskey for tonight, so I'll probably pour like an ounce. Yeah, I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good about this. I think we're probably in a good place to call it for today on this project. And then, yeah, we'll continue working on this for sure. I might do a little bit off stream on this just to do the tests and stuff. Let's see here. So MDL link. MD layer sponsored by Pedialyte. Yeah, they want to sponsor me, sure. Stuff works, man. ethtool, initial client link mode methods. Let's make sure we push what we have. You know, it doesn't hurt. Still needs tests. Good progress, good progress. Okay, I think it is time for me to grab the whiskey, and then we will chill and hang out and talk. So, all right, BRB. All right, gang, it is time for Whiskey Rage. So this is the bottle. This is not for me. The camera is white balance or the light and stuff. But yeah, Blue Spot, 7-year cast strength. So non-chill filtered. Let's see here. It's got a pretty long thing on the back, but 58.7% ABV. That's a thing. It's gonna kick my butt probably, but yeah, I'm excited. This is, I think, yeah, it said like bourbon, Madeira, and yeah. So let's see here. Blue Spot is matured for at least 7 years in bourbon barrels, sherry butts, and Portuguese Madeira casks. Non-chill filtered and bottled at cask strength for a whiskey that is full flavored and uniquely satisfying. Yeah, pretty excited. So unfortunately, this bottle is not mine. I bought this for a friend, and apparently the bottle. I told this earlier on stream, but I talked to a friend last night. He's like, "Oh, if it's still there tomorrow, go buy me one." And I went at like 10 a.m. running errands, whatever, liquor store trip at 10 a.m. So I went and saw my friend, and I was like, "Hey, trade me a sample of it." So I actually have a 2-ounce sample of it here. This is what I'm going to be pouring from. And my intent was to try this today, and if I really like it, I could go buy myself a bottle of this tomorrow. However, apparently the last bottle of it sold today, so I lost my chance. But yeah, got my Glencairn. Let's do probably about an ounce. Ought to be good. So, whew, wow, that's So I love cast strength whiskey and barrel proof stuff like bourbon, but this is it's a lot. When you're first drinking in the day, it's like I haven't had any whiskey today. I didn't want to. I wanted to do my project and make progress because as soon as I start drinking, it gets pretty hard to continue focusing on projects. It smells great though. Like the thing is with like Irish is I always feel like I'm looking for more. I'm looking for more complexity, more interest. And with this, like you can already tell that like the sherry finish and the Madeira finish like are really gonna make something interesting out of this. God damn, love the burn though. Yeah, me too. It's I think the highest proof whiskey I have is, let's see here. The one I have, William Heaven Hill Barrel Proof. Barrel Proof. This is some random website, but yes, there we go. Yeah, this bottle $6.99. I didn't pay that. I paid, I think MSRP at the distillery was like $2.50. Oh yeah, 134.4. I have a bottle of this, and this will punch your face in like 100%. Like 100% of the time, like this will wreck your day. And it's delicious, but it's a lot, you know. Yeah, I just want to let this chill for a sec, but I'm pretty excited. It's kind of funny doing the streaming thing because it's like, you know, I can do the coding stuff, but it's like, yeah, you can also just chill out and talk with your viewers and just do whatever you want, you know, drink whiskey on stream, have a beer. I did have a beer last weekend, and it was like a 14% barrel-aged stout, and I actually by the end of it was like pretty lit over the course of like an hour. I was like, oh, I should probably cut stream. And then I accidentally played copyrighted music on stream because my PC output wasn't muted in OBS. Oh well. Hey, cheers, Craig. That's not cheap, is it? Yeah, the William Heaven Hill, I think I paid $2.50 for it at the distillery. My friend went to the distillery and he said, like, hey, if anybody wants this, like, I'll buy it for you. Like, I'm not spending $2.50. And I was like, I can't pass on this. Like, distillery exclusive, but yeah, this website wants $700, so pretty crazy. All right, let's try this. Wow. I'm gonna regret selling this bottle to a friend. This is really good. It's I feel like with most Irish whiskey, like I was saying, like I feel like I want more. I want, you know, like more flavor, more intensity, and for this, like the sherry and the Madeira finish and stuff like just really comes through. And wow. I don't have an amazing palate by any means, and my nose is kind of messed up, so my sense of smell is not great. But this is delicious. So hey, cheers, Twitch chat. Appreciate you all. Oh, you're 5,000 points. Nice, but you're not allowed to share the contents of the interview problem. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, but I'm happy to do a code review for you next time or whatever else. Or I suppose we could do it right now. I'm up for whatever, but otherwise we'll just chill out and we'll drink this and we'll answer questions and we'll see how this goes, you know. So yeah, this is really fucking good, man. FOMO. And I gotta tell my friends now. It's like, yeah, I told the last bottle to a friend, and now I regret it. You'd have to dox yourself though. Gotcha. Well, it's kind of funny with me being MD Layer on everywhere online. It's like I dox myself anyway. But what are you gonna do? Matt, do you have any Old Granddad Bottled and Bond? I do not. But Old Granddad Bottled and Bond and Old Granddad 114 are both pretty good. But I'm pretty sure the experience that you're referring to where we had regular shelf Old Granddad I'm pretty sure that was regular shelf. I don't think that was, yeah, we had a time in college one time where we had a bottle of Old Granddad, and that was a thing. That was a day. I didn't like whiskey back then, and yeah. But actually, yeah, Old Granddad Bottled and Bond. It's been a lot. Well, I've definitely had 114, and 114 is actually pretty awesome. But Bottled and Bond, I feel like it's also pretty good. But the shelf Old Granddad is not great. I actually had I had Mellow Corn last night, which is a pretty cheap bourbon from Heaven Hill. It's like $15 a bottle, and it's got this like super old school label. Like I'll show you all. And there's actually a subreddit for this whiskey, which is hilarious. Like people go crazy for this stuff. Mellow Corn Reddit. Oh, it's all kinds of like bourbon reviews and stuff, but now what I'm looking for is reddit.com or Mellow Corn. So people just love this whiskey. People go absolutely crazy. Oh god. New Reddit. Old.reddit.com. There we go. There was something I found in here last night I thought was hysterical. Where is it? This is all just like people memeing about Mellow Corn. There was a picture. Somebody had like an ear of corn in a glass of whiskey, and I thought it was just like the funniest shit. And I wonder where it went now. Should be here on the front page, I would think, unless maybe I scroll back a little further. Oh, here, a picture of the guy from the Capitol with the podium. Good time makes you wonder how it would taste after so many years of better whiskey tasting. Yeah, honestly, old granddad probably tastes better than we remember. You know, it's probably pretty good. It's been a while since I've had it, of course, but I imagine it's pretty damn good. Where is this picture? There's a picture I want to show you all on here. This is all just people memeing and stuff, you know, but it's funny anyway. Is it actually good though, or is it just about the meme? I think it's both. Like I had it last night and it was solid. I mean, for a $15 whiskey, like you can't complain. Like it is, if you like the taste of corn, that's what it is, right? Like it's very unabashed about what it is. It's mellow corn. You know, it's not an amazing whiskey. I know a lot of people in the hobby who drink, like they have their daily drinker, right? So like they buy something cheap for 15 or 20 bucks and like that's what they will drink most nights and they'll have their special stuff on weekends or whatever. But I don't do it that way. Like I don't have daily drinkers. I drink what I like and I open what I like and I don't really wait for special occasions. So, you know, some people feel differently, but for me personally, I think I enjoy it more when I just drink what I want to drink, you know, and don't hold something back for some special occasion, because ultimately, you know, life is short and fleeting, and we might as well make any occasion special, right? I think it's more cool to do it that way. Yeah, this is good, but that is a kick in the face a little bit. It's also important to not drink just because. Yes, absolutely. So I'm actually breaking one of my own rules right now. I don't generally drink on Sundays. I give myself usually. My rule recently has been I will usually take at least Sunday and Wednesday, Sunday through Wednesday off, and then Thursday I might have a couple. Thursday might have like one. Friday and Saturday, like depending on whether or not I'm seeing people, might have like one or more. But then Sunday through Wednesday I'm pretty significantly I'm pretty done. But today I really wanted to try this, and we're hanging out, so why not? But this will be my one drink for tonight, The daily drinking where people drown a 6-pack for no reason. Yeah. And I've got friends that way, and I'm sure you do too, and like, people in your life. And ultimately the thing is that people are adults and they can make their own choices, and all I can do is try and guide them right, or tell them like, hey, I'm concerned about you. MPLS Corwin, what's up? Nice username. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. MPLS as in Minneapolis, or MPLS as multi-protocol label switching? Because I know Minneapolis uses that too, but I really like that acronym. It's a very good point. I still have the unopened gift bottle of Dalmore I got when leaving a job 5 years ago. Nice, very cool. Once I start, I usually can't stop. Yeah, I understand that. It's one of those things where like you have to make the decisions like when you're sober, right? Like I say, like I'm limiting myself to this, and it's like tonight I've got this sample. I'm gonna enjoy this, like drink it, chill out, whatever else, and that'll be it, And I will go to bed sober, and I will wake up feeling great tomorrow, because like I feel like for me, I've got friends who will drink most nights of the week, and I feel like for me, if I drink more than like 3 or 4 days in a row, I can feel my body starting to deteriorate, right? Like I end up in the situation where I am not sleeping very well. I feel kind of just nasty. My stomach is unsettled, like, the dehydration and your headache, and it's just not fun. Oh, so your username is both. Awesome. That's very cool. Yeah. So I imagine you were a networker then. Nice. Yeah, I love network stuff. I want to deploy MPLS at home. I think that would be fun. Like we deployed at work, but I think it would be fun to play around with it at home, because I've been doing the route netlink stuff with MPLS. Oh yeah, speaking of netlink stuff, I can show you all of that really quick. That was a pretty interesting thing. So you're a free software nerd. Nice. So I actually got paid to write this code for work, which was awesome. Let's see here. Routes. So the JSON Minetti RT Netlink library builds on top of my Netlink package, and I added all of the multipath stuff to this. So all of the route attributes, let's see here. Route attributes multipath. So this array of next hops, I added all of this. So the hop is the RT next hop structure, the gateway, the MPLS labels and stuff like that. So for every label, it's like, okay, the way the kernel expects this to be is you take a netlink attribute encoder and you pack a fixed length RT next hop C structure and then the attributes behind that. But the RT next hop has this length field, which is the size of the RT next hop plus the length of the attributes. And as a result, parsing this is a total pain in the ass. So I'm glad that newer families like the ethtool netlink stuff all handle this more appropriately. But yeah, see unsafe cast here from RT next top into the array. Yeah, this was a thing, and I actually had to write this type here. Multipath parser using an iterator pattern. So like for every keep iterating, parse next top, parse attributes, check for errors, keep appending, and let's see here, attribute decoder. This was a bit of a thing. The one other thing I wanted to show was so this like it literally stuffs MPLS labels in there. So it's like okay, I have to allocate enough space for an MPLS label and then put in the label, the traffic class, bottom of stack, TTL, and like as a result now you can actually install MPLS next hops with the RT netlink library. Which is pretty cool. So this is something we're using at work, but I got paid to write this using my own code. That was a pretty cool story, actually. My team, the new team I'm on at work, like they were looking to hire someone who knew essentially what I did about like netlink, Go, networking, system stuff. They're like, hey, why don't we just move Matt to this team? Like we're gonna use his library, so pretty cool. You want OSPF and BGP at home, but it's so hard to find time and a reason to build it. Yeah, I understand that. I mean, right now, like my network is, I've got my router and I'm running like 6 different VLANs, but it's like I don't really have a need for like a routing protocol, right? I have briefly labbed up. I had Metal LB running on my server over there, and I did Metal LB BGP pairing with my router, which is pretty cool. So I can announce virtual IPs that way, and that was a lot of fun. But the thing is I just frankly don't have the need. Something else I think is pretty cool is I saw there's a new routing protocol called Rift, routing in fat trees. And it sounds like it's designed for like the hyper dense like data center yada yada super crazy super spine bullshit. The thing is that like I'm a home networker. I am a software engineer who does networking things. I'm not a network engineer, so I don't understand all of the massive deployment yada yada stuff very well. But I think it's all very cool, and I kind of want to do like a routing protocol project. Like I think it'd be cool to like write a BGP daemon or something, but I don't really have any reason to, right? So. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. I enjoy playing with stuff like this. I have a really good time doing networking. For me, like programming became so much more interesting when I realized I could have multiple machines talking to each other and like having these interactions. Like that really kind of sold me on programming as a whole, Because before that, I was just writing stuff for class, and it's like, okay, open and read this file, or print this to the screen, or whatever else. But suddenly, when you're doing BSD sockets, and you can have like TCP connections, or UDP connections, or peer-to-peer, you write a peer-to-peer file sharing server, or a chat application, or a BitTorrent tracker. Like I've done so many interesting projects since then, This already it is locked. Cool. My other friend is also looking for Blue Spot, and he missed out. Ooh, excuse me. You wanted to get a second ISP and then do multipath TCP. Nice. The 2 other ISPs here, besides the one I have, don't have any reasonable bandwidth. Oh, that's a bummer. So I have a cable ISP here, and I get gigabit down and then 40 meg up, which is, whatever, asymmetrical stuff. I think I could get DSL, which is like, bad. I could get DSL as a secondary if I wanted to. But I also have an LTE backup modem, which works fine. But we were talking on stream, and I think it'd be super cool if I could do like, have my own IP space and do multi-homing with like multiple ISPs, but that's not a realistic thing for a home user, right? I guess presumably if you're doing multipath TCP, like that could work over. Would you actually announce your own IP space, or would you do like v4 NAT tricks? You wish home ISPs would allow that in the first place? Yeah, me too. I can pay for the business connection and stuff, but I just don't really have a need. Like, I think that the reason I would pay for business would be primarily like the better support, perhaps more competent support, or like SLAs on stuff, but also the ability to like run BGP would be sick. But yeah, right now you can't announce anything, right? We were talking about this on stream with a large data bank. Like, I'm pretty sure ISPs are just like, you're not worth it. Like, you're not important enough. Probably even for regular business users, like you probably have to have like whatever business package to like actually announce your own space and stuff. But at some point, it's easier just to like colo a server somewhere and then like route traffic to that and then run like a WireGuard tunnel. Like I was talking with some friends about we wanted to get an IPv6/32. Excuse me, and route that to a data center using BGP, and then tunnel /48s to our houses over WireGuard. So I would have a /48 of IP addresses that are like kind of mine, which would be pretty cool. You're in the same boat regarding multipath, right? Even the first 2 business tiers get you a routed subnet at best. Really? That's a bummer. Yeah, there was a business here. They had a, let's see here. So they had a /30. Like, it was my friends who own like a restaurant. They own a bar, a brewery, and it's like, why do you need like a /30? Like, you're running a residential, effectively just a big residential network. Like, they have no big needs at all. And it's like, why would they give you 4 addresses? That doesn't really make sense. Yeah, it'd be pretty cool. I don't understand is, like, I'm on a residential connection, but for some reason Charter keeps changing my IPv6 prefix, which drives me nuts. You get a /29 here on the lowest tier business. Maybe maybe it is /29. Yeah, I'm my brain probably can't subnet math right now. Yeah, the one thing I wish is that, like, Charter keeps giving me different /56s. Like, they will change it for some reason, and I have absolutely no idea why. Like, you would think that they probably have enough 32s and whatever, subnetted into 48s. Like, you got, so you got your 32s, you probably have, like, this residential 48, whatever else. And then, like, why would they not just give me my 56 forever? Like, why would they bother to change the 56? That doesn't really make sense to me, but I have a thing now to automate fixing that, so. So you can get 500 fiber with PPP OE. That's fun. And then 1 IP on that and the /29 on top of that. Gotcha. This isn't the EU, though. It might be very different. I gotcha. Yeah, like with my V6 here, like, it's the similar setup would be, you get your /128 landed on the router and then /56 through prefix delegation and everything. The whole not really static IPv6 prefixing is silly. I agree. I 100% agree. I can't think of any reason why they would ever have to change my 56. Like, if I disconnect my account, you can reclaim it, but up until then, what's the point, This is really good. FOMO, fear of missing out, drives all of my life decisions. But now I have no choice. I can't go buy this, so it's sold out. Such is life. So you would think that's more work for them as well. Yeah, I would agree. Like, I would agree. Like, why would they? I mean, I guess unless their systems just automatically assume IPs always have, or IP leases always have some kind of expiration. But yeah, I would agree. It's probably more work for them. I don't know why they would do it. If you know it's good, you know how to get it when it's available again. Yeah, I probably will. See, the problem is, though, is that, like, there are so many things that I think are good, and my friend bought this bottle, so I'm sure I can go over to his house and have it whenever I want, when things are more open and whatever else, but I just want my own. It is really good, though. I don't want to get into it tonight, but I'd like to compare this to my red breast cast strength. I think that'd be pretty good, because I got the 12-year cast strength. I wonder how many expressions there are. Let's find out. So, let's see here. Red breast, whiskey. I do like red breast. 1970. Oh, that's pretty cool. They have the red breast bird feeder bottle. No way. Huh. Yeah, 12-year. Craig, so if you're still here, yeah, they got the 12-year stuff, 60 euro. So yeah, probably like, 70, 80 bucks in the United States. 12 cast strength. This is what I have. I've seen the Listau and the 15. I bought my friend a bottle of the 27-year. Yeah, 500 euro. Whew. I feel like I've seen older ones too, but yeah, I bought my friend this bottle, and, like, I bet it's amazing, and I want to go see him and try this because I didn't get a chance, of course, but what are you going to do? What if there's any new, hang on. So my personal favorite distillery is probably Lafroig, so I want to see if there's any new Lafroig releases. They're probably not. 101, 1970. Good old Unix timestamp. You can get Lafroig socks. I want these. Can I order this? The problem is that, like, a lot of these bundles won't ship to the United States because they have alcohol with them, which is a pain in the neck. I want the socks. Quarter cask and socks. I have to look into that. Uh-oh. Yeah, 25-year cast strength. I've got 2 bottles of 25-year because I'm a heathen and I have no self-control. Lafroig is so nice, so peaty. Yeah, I love it. Portwood, yeah, this is another new release. I think they replaced Brodeer with Portwood, and I want a bottle of this because I've got a bottle of Brodeer and I want to see what's different. 1815, never seen this. I've got PX. Triple Wood, I see around sometimes. 4 Oak, I think that's also duty free or international exclusive. I want to get that. Select, wow, that's cheap. €22. 16 year. This is like, I thought this was like Amazon UK exclusive or something, but I actually found it on one of my websites and I got a bottle of this too. I wish 18 year was still around too, but, and then 10, lore, yeah. Good stuff. Yeah. I'm big into whiskey these days. But as mentioned earlier, it's all about not letting it take over your life, right? Like you need to, you got to realize that like, you know, there comes a point where it's not healthy to drink every day or, yeah, like you shouldn't be drinking every day. If you find yourself like, you know, unable to control how much you're drinking, then like you need to like either set rules for yourself beforehand or have somebody like help you or like whatever else. But yeah, I've got friends who I know, you know, don't really take care of themselves, you know, and it worries me, but ultimately they're adults and all I can really do is like, you know, encourage and push them in the right direction. But ultimately it is up to them to, you know, do what they want in their own lives and control and do, you know, I guess for better or worse, like, you know, perhaps pay the consequences, you know, and that stinks, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not trying to get all sad here or anything, but it's like, it's one of those things where, when alcohol is one of your big hobbies, like, you know, it is for me, like, I love beer, I love whiskey, but it's like, I've tried to be really good about being responsible because there was a while where I lived in a house with 5 other guys and we had a kegerator, and it's like, it's super easy to get drunk on like a Tuesday, you know? That's not healthy. You got to be good about that. Yeah, now my friends are complaining the Blue Spot's gone too, because I guess there were at least 2 other guys, so myself and 2 others here in Kalamazoo who wanted it. Oh, man. Mistakes were made. I could just, I could take the sticker off the top of my friend's name and just open this and just keep it for myself. I'm too nice. It's so good, though. I think I've had Red Spot. I know there's also green and yellow. I'm not sure if I've ever tried those. But Red Spot, I think, is their 15-year expression. So Blue Spot, let's see here. What else do they got? The whiskeys. Yeah, green spots. Let's see here. Matured in traditional sherry and bourbon casks, finished in French oak wine casks. I never know how to feel about wine casks. Hey, good day to you too. How you doing? Yellow spot is 12 year, and I think red spot is 15 year, right? Oh, so they got several different varieties of green spot. Interesting. Yeah, red spot is the one I first had. This is like probably the first Irish whiskey I had that I was like, wow, that's really good. And then blue spot's the new one they just brought back. I am a gentleman from the past. Interesting. CRSHP. Account created December 30th. Suspicious. A ghost, if you will. Huh. That sounds pretty spooky. This is really good. Damn it. I know I'm going to keep saying that, but I just, FOMO, you know. Well, we're coming up on the 4-hour mark, so I think we will probably wrap up the stream pretty soon here. Is there anything else I wanted to do? I don't think so. I have no knowledge of your ways. We're getting some super mysterious stuff going on in chat right now. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out this, we were looking at this earlier, the bit set stuff. We're gonna have to figure this out. Like all the bit sets versus the compact representation, all the masking and all that. You must not wrap up, young man. Yeah, we'll be back. Yeah, we'll be back. Maybe not this week, but maybe this weekend. What's my schedule like this week? Could possibly be streaming maybe like Thursday, like late afternoon, or possibly like Saturday again. Saturday, probably the same time. I've got plans next Sunday. I actually turned down plans today because I wanted to work on this stuff, but that's okay. I was committed. You know, I wanted to get this ethtool stuff going. I feel really good about it. Are we still package go dev? Let's see here. MD layer. What's this? Oh, there we go. Sweet. Aren't you curious about this person from your past? I mean, yeah, but the problem is it's Twitch chat, so who knows, right? If you're a person from my past, send me a text message right now. I might not even have your number anymore, depending. I've lost some numbers over the years. Fair, but it could even be your dad. I don't think this is my dad. my dad would have some pretty giveaway speech. Link info request. Yeah, I feel pretty good about this. I think this worked out pretty well. Because we can add stuff here like the stats flag and stuff. Some long lost friend or relative who just happens to need money or an organ. Yeah, sounds about right. Twitch chat, never heard of it. Yeah, Twitch chat's a thing. Link info. Yeah, this came out pretty good. We done good, gang. What do we got down here? Oh, pre-flight list for the stream stuff. Whoa, what's this? Oh, the RT netlink stuff. Yeah, we done pretty good. I wonder why this is packed the way it is with like these nested arrays. Like this seems kind of silly to me, but maybe it's because there is more fields in here that could be useful. I don't know. Do you know William Gates? Oh, here we go. That's the whiskey. He's creating tiny people. So nebulous. All right, gang. I think we're going to call the stream. This has been a lot of fun. I'm going to go probably hang out, play Stardew Valley, do whatever. Straight chill. So, hey, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you all. This has been a lot of fun. I am sure we will be streaming again soon. We'll keep working on this. So, alrighty. Take care. I will see you all later.